Yo, what's up, Seth? Seth, we have a first of 5 going down. Getting right into it. Let's go. Alright, GG. Alright, that's game 1. Internet seems good. Dope. Alright, we out to small battlefield. Seth and ASVP, thank you guys for the resubs. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Alright, let's do this. Alright, same bans. I'm banning FD and Kalos versus DKwill. Wide open spaces where he can like space me out with projectiles. Alright, going back. What up, what up? What's good, y'all? I've been missing PDKOs today at like really easy percents, so I must be executing something incorrectly. Like, they're like really easy PDKOs and I'm just completely missing them. So I gotta figure that out. Hello, Bastion. Okay. Yeah, like I was trying to go for it, like the one that was at 109. I knew that part, but I keep missing them when I'm at 0 and he's at 93. So like I don't understand why. I think he's doing like an up DI instead of left or right, so it's like throwing me off. Maybe? He must be throwing too soon or something. Something's wrong. for him. Yeah, this time I just did it at like the absolute minimum and it seemed to work. Back to small. Okay. We're going back. Yeah, I play this one all the time on quick play. Alright, GG's. It's very close at the end. Super close. I was very close to being caught in a checkmate scenario. In fact, I was caught in a checkmate scenario there. Like, I was pretty sure he was going to stop right then. I was just really surprised that my up air whiffed. Like, I was like, alright, well, he can only hold it, like, so long, so what if I jump up air and then, like, nothing happened? Like, I didn't get sucked in, my up air didn't hit him, it was weird. I don't know how. Yes, this was a meta 5 first to 5 session. Indeed, indeed. My playstyle is more of like a steamroll playstyle. Chunky Kong has more of it like a precise playstyle where he's like really patient. For me, I'm like very aggro. Like I have to fight against my nature to not just like hold forward. In the matchups where holding forward is better, I do better. But in the vast majority of the cast, you're not supposed to do that when you're fighting them. You're supposed to play passive and just stand there and F-tilt and do nothing else and walk around. That's just a better playstyle in this game, but that's not how I like to play. I like to do things. Alright, so that was our first to 5 sesh, and now we're going to do a matchup chart update. As said in my title. Let's update my title everywhere. Let's get it shown on the screen for you guys. DK matchup chart update. And by that I mean update, like I don't think it's gonna change all that much. I could be wrong. So let's see what we got going on here. I'll just try to get it up on the screen for everyone really quick. And update my title so everybody knows. This is something that everyone's been asking for anyway, so I feel like. And there's a DK, there's like a community matchup chart being made right now, and they're waiting on like my opinion and like a couple other top DKs. So it is time, it is time. You've become more scared of DK? Listen. Everyone stays the same except Sora, Sheik, Joker, ZSS. I think Mario changes for me. Honestly. I think Mario is way more touch of death than I've given him credit for. Because after playing like Mario's like Dominator and Snow, like Mario can follow your DI no matter where you're DIing and optimize his combo. He'd be like, oh, you're DIing this way? Cool, I'll do this route, and you still die. Or get put into like a checkmate situation where you have to jump or air dodge. And then he could just keep going after that. It's bad. It's bad. So I think that one might change also. I don't know if we have it in -2. Again, let's get everything up on the screen and just share it with you guys. What's the website again? I always forget. It's like tier list maker or something, maybe? I think so. There's a login. Shit. I have like, do I have a login for this? I don't fucking know, man. All I know is I have a link to this somewhere. I don't know if anyone has access to it or if I have access to it. That would have been responsible of me to have that somewhere. I definitely have a link somewhere. Let's see if I can find it. This way I don't have to like recreate everything. If anything, I can just use the image. I know the image exists somewhere. What is the most recent matchup image that I've made? That's what I need to find. And that should be pretty easy at least. And I'll just like, we'll just go from there. Make a template. I don't think this is the right website. The fuck is the name of the website? Ultimate Smash tier list. There we go. How do you do the ding dong? I don't have a ding dong tutorial yet. I have an aerial platform ding dong tutorial, which is just in a short format. I could maybe do something just as simple and make a short of it. Because that was pretty descriptive, honestly, and it will probably loop a lot for those of you who haven't seen it. You can just like look at it and be like, oh, this is how this works. But obviously I wasn't talking during that one, so maybe you guys also need a verbal explanation. All right, so let's figure this out. So I'm gonna close this arena down. Last time I made a matchup chart, it took me like 6 or 7 hours. We're not gonna do that again. I'm gonna place everything back in the same place that it was. And then we're gonna mix and match things. The last time I made a matchup chart was 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago. So this is a long time coming. Okay. So let's get this on the screen over here so I can share with y'all. Hell yeah, we got some DK mains in the chat. Welcome everybody, welcome, welcome. I'm sure we have a lot of DK mains here. All right, let's do this, let's do this. So, what's cool is I can use monkey.gg to see how we've changed like the neutral. If neutral has changed versus the character, that means they should change on the tier list generally. Either it's gonna be easier or it's gonna be worse. So, now I just need to find this image. This content is no longer available. Fuck. Okay, I have to search on my computer somewhere. This has got to be somewhere. Oh, okay. I know I have it saved on my computer. Let's see. Smash Ultimate DK matchup charts. Here we go. I have one from May 7th, 2022. Oh, that's how to approach neutral. That's totally different. That's still very useful, but that's not what I'm looking for. This is how much I don't like making matchup charts. I don't even have it saved anywhere. Where the fuck is this? I don't even remember the last time I made a matchup chart. It's probably on my Twitter somewhere. Maybe I'll find it that way. Bum, 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 bum. Oh man, this is rough. There used to be like a Twitter ads website that you used to be able to go to, and it would bring up all the media that you've ever posted on Twitter, like very, very easily and accessibly, and you can scroll through it like really fast. And it's been so long that it's not Twitter anymore, it's X, and I don't know if that website exists anymore. The link doesn't work without all that extra stuff after the PNG. Oh. March 25th, 24. Oh, this is not my matchup chart though. I didn't make this, so I probably don't agree with a lot of this. I was looking for the one that I made last. I'm still gonna keep looking for it. If not, I'll fall back on this, because I probably don't agree with a lot of what's on there anyway. That's okay. Alright. Where the fuck is this? It's gonna be in my download somewhere, so let's just check, I guess. If I know from around when I made it, maybe I could find it. So what's the name of this website? Ultimate Smash Tier List. Let's see if I can find it. I know I sent it to myself somewhere. No. Fuck, dude. I know I have it in a folder, but I just don't know where. Found this from 2020. Yo, let's fucking go. That must be when the last one I made was. Did we ever update this? Patch 7.0.0. Oh my god. Shit. Maybe that's too old. Okay, okay. At least I found a big one. Holy shit, 4 years ago. I guess we could actively compare it. We can, like, compare stuff. So maybe that's what I'll do. I'll compare, like, the community matchup chart to mine. I'm not going to do a lot of discussion, necessarily. I'm just going to kind of place them. And then if you guys have questions, I'll answer questions. Alright. This works. At least we got something going on here. Let's see how I feel about these. Okay. This is going to be a little confusing because we have a lot of things happening on the screen, but let me just resize some stuff. And I'll download this image. Save image as... There's no way I didn't make a matchup chart since then. It might be. 2020 matchup chart. So we'll download that file. We'll download this one. DK community matchup chart 2024. This was just made. Yeah, March 2024. There, we're gonna look, and again, I know I'm not showing anything yet, but I'm going to. I'm just saving everything so it's easier to look at. Okay. I might have to move over some stuff. I'm gonna put my chat over here, put this over here, this I'll probably be looking at. Put OBS over there. Yeah, I'm gonna capture everything on screen, but on a different screen than usual. So this way I'm looking straight on at it. Okay. Got this. Alright, time to open those images. We got this one and that one. This one is, it's 4 years old, so there's definitely going to be changes made to it, and we'll see what that entails. Very nice. Okay, this is like the biggest I can make them. One of them is horizontal, one of them is vertical, so it's a little awkward. I guess we'll start off just by looking at those before I do anything. Yeah, the vertical one is awk. Pretty awkward. Okay. Let's screen share this or whatever. Screen capture this. actually going to put this chat over here so I can actually read it. Can close that. Put this over here so I can see it easily. I think we pretty much got this. A little discombobulated, but I think we're good. Okay. I don't really need the inputs on screen right now. Actually, this works out. This is going to be interesting. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Just make this bigger for everyone. What I could do is I'll just do window capture. What am I doing? Yeah, I'll do a window capture for both of them. Except for the fact that it didn't work. Cool. It's not letting me window capture it. Wow. For real? Photos app. Photo. Alright, I guess we're gonna do 2 display captures then. Alright, computer. Technical difficulties. Too strong. Alright, so we'll just crop one of them over and make it as big as possible for everyone. This is the DK community matchup chart. It's going to be really hard to see because it's vertical, but maybe I could zoom in on it, just make it bigger or something, and we can just kind of scroll down it. I'll just do that. So this is the one that exists already. There's probably an easier way to do all this. It's alright. We'll figure this out. I don't fucking know, man. We'll just do the best we can with this one. Can't really see it, but that's the one that already exists. Here is the one that I made in 2020, which is more of a format that we actually are going to work with. Okay, so something like that. Now, unfortunately, on the vertical stream, I haven't set it up at all yet. So let me get that for you guys so you can see what the fuck I'm talking about. And I'll put this behind everything. This is the hard part. Yeah, I guess I'm only going to be able to show one of them on the vertical one. I'll just show mine, and I'll crop it the best I can. So something like that. So on the vertical stream, you should be able to see stuff now, hopefully. Yeah, you should be able to see that. Okay, cool. Alright, let's see. So, that was a pain in the ass to set up, but that's okay. Alright, so let's see what we're working with here. So, in 2020, the other thing that's confusing is that these are upside down compared to each other. I actually started with the bad matchups at the top because there's like, I don't know, they're more important to know which ones are bad, I guess. It's just a completely different format, both of these charts. So this is definitely going to be changing. That's for sure. Just off the bat, off the top of the dome here, Incineroar is not going to be in the 6-4 section. Neither is Terry. Shit. Maybe I should just base it off of the chart that you guys put together, and if I disagree with something, I'll just move it around. That actually makes more sense. Fuck. Alright. Give me 1 second, guys. It turns out that my matchup chart is just way too, like, old, so it's not useful to look at. Alright. Why is he so high? It's not. It's one of the worst matchups in the game for DK. He's low. He's high in that it's a bad matchup. It's a 3-7 matchup. But I'm gonna go back. I know I have a chart that like said -3, -2, -1, 0. So like that one is too old for me to base it on. So fuck. I guess I'm just gonna start from. Fuck it. I'm just gonna start from scratch. Like it's too confusing for me to look at all this shit. So I'm just gonna have to start from scratch and just throw characters where I think they should go. I made this all way too complicated. Get rid of that. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Let's just make this less complicated and just start making the matchup chart. It's just been too long since I've done this, so I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Okay. Okay, I do have some sort of capture going on here. Why is that still there? Okay, it's not. Okay, good. Alright. That's not what we want. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, that's good, and we'll just put that at the bottom. Something like this should be okay. Just make this as big as I can here. Dope. So that looks pretty good, and then we'll just get it up, set it up over here as well. As long as Samus is in -2, Samus will definitely be in -2. You don't have to worry about that one. Again, this is all opinion, by the way, like, people are gonna disagree with me, so that's okay. Last time when I made the chart, it was like a community chart, so it was like, it was me and then just debating with like the whole DK Discord and like taking their opinions in as well, but I'm not going to do that this time. I'm literally just going to, it's just going to be my opinion this time. Alright, display capture, once and for all. That's not what we want. We want display capture too. That one. I can even cut a little bit more off of this. No, actually. I have no idea if you guys are going to be able to see this on the vertical live stream, so I highly recommend that you come over to either my Twitch or my YouTube, where you'll see it in full resolution, because otherwise it's going to be rough. That being said, I could probably just go like that, and that should be a lot more visible, because you guys don't need to really see what's going on that right side there. In which case, you might be able to see stuff. I'll just crop this out. We don't need that. And honestly, I'll just make this fucking all big. Okay, there we go. We kind of figured that out, sort of. That sort of works. Finally. Alright, let's get it going. Yeah, you can at least see the names, but alright, so I don't know which matchup chart format I like. I always start with the worst matchups and then go towards the best on the bottom, so I'm just gonna stick to that. And like some of them get confusing where there's like 0.5s and like all this shit. I'm just gonna make it straight up like -3. It's cut off for me, just needs to be moved to the right on vertical. Wait, for real? It doesn't show you the S tier, A tier, B tier. It's showing it on my layout here. It needs to be moved over a bit, you're saying? Maybe I should look at it on my own phone. You'd see it now? Oh, that's interesting. That might be dependent upon the phone, which is kind of interesting there. Okay. I don't know how to bring up my live stream on the phone. That's actually funny. I never navigate to YouTube Shorts streams. Let's go to my channel, go to live, not showing up, live, oh there we go, okay, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna, I hate to say it, but I'm gonna put it, okay, I see what you're saying. I did actually need to shift it over a little bit, because it was cutting off. How about that? There. I had to look at my own live stream on vertical to fix it. That's good, right? Sweet. Perfect. Alright, good looks, guys. Thanks for the heads up. Alright, without any further ado, let's start slapping names on these tiers here. -3. -2. -1. Then we have even. +1 and +2. And it really doesn't get any better than that. Yeah, I can read chat. Sorry, I really wasn't looking at chat until just this moment though, because I was doing all this crazy like setup stuff. But yeah, I have chat here. I'm looking at a combined chat that shows everyone. So yeah. All right, good looks forehead. All right, cool. So -3, -2, da, da, da. Yeah, I guess these colors are fine for now. They don't really make that much sense, actually. I lied. For this, I might actually use the color scheme that I had. I'll just put this off to the side so it's not blocking you guys. This is my OCD kicking in, don't mind me. So before I had -3, 2, 1. Oh, I had more tiers last time. We just know that this is going to be green. Even's usually yellow. Okay. Do I think there are -3s? Yeah, I do. In fact, there are some matchups that are just a cut above the rest in how difficult they are. I think it's too naive to say like, oh, like all of DK's bad matchups are -2s, and then you're just gonna say like, oh, some of the -2s are harder than others. All right, so then it's a -3. Personally, I think this character deserves to be there. Where the fuck is he? And you know, maybe this will fluctuate as I'm making it, but alright, we have to fix this. This should be like orange or something. Red, pink, orange, yellow. I'll just do it like this so there's different colors. It doesn't really make that much sense, but it's fine. -3s? Are you guys are surprised about this? I'm not an idealist here about DK's matchups. Some of you guys are. Not me. I mean, you could win, but the matchups are still trash. Don't get it twisted. Alright, ready, set, let's find these characters. So, where the fuck are they? There's too many characters here. I'm just like thinking of a character and I'm like looking for them and I can't find them. Where is Duck Hunt, dude? There it is. Duck Hunt goes there, Mega Man goes there. Honestly, and I might get more optimistic about this as we go on, because once I'd be like, you know what, some of these characters aren't as hard as the other ones. Yo, Green Shell, appreciate you. Appreciate you. The way in which I lost to Snow at Supernova, you guys don't understand how bad it made it look like I've never played the matchup before. That's why I've changed my mind so much about this. Like, if you're not doing perfect SDI, even if you are, if you're losing neutral, you don't just get comboed, you get comboed into a reset, into another combo, into a kill. And it happened 3 times. Maybe I just haven't, you know, maybe I just haven't fought versus top level Mario enough to know what to do. It was really, really bad though. It was bad. It felt worse than almost any other matchup I've played. So maybe that's like recency bias, but you know what? I will lose to like Mario's on quick play that are just holding forward and mashing buttons also. Those you can just eventually beat by being like, okay, I'm gonna be passive and I'm gonna F tilt and I'll be fine. You know, but if you're fighting a Mario who actually knows what he's doing, then all of a sudden it's really, really bad. Bobbert coming through with the Prime sub. Appreciate you. Thank you, Bobbert. All right. Again, I'm gonna be throwing a lot of these in there, and then I'll kind of look at them and be like, these are easier. Maybe it's like a hard -2, but not a -3. So you're gonna see my pessimism about some of these matchups show up real quick. In this tier, I'll order them by how difficult they are. My matchup, my mindset has changed a lot about these recently. I think it's probably something like that for the -3s. Because you guys, like, if you want to be optimistic about matchup, you're not picking up DK to fight these characters. This is the point of the -3 section. You'd be like, oh, I should not play Donkey Kong in those matchups. Got it. Now, if you're a DK main, and oh yeah, I forgot about Sora. Sora's up there. Yeah, good call. Sora is real bad. Might be the worst. Because he legit has Touch of Death, hit you, you die. At least neutral is playable against ZSS, sort of, but she has Zair, which makes it very difficult. And then if she clips you with an up air at like 30 or 40, you're dead. If there's a platform anywhere on the stage, you're dead. If you're not playing on FD, you're dead. Like, she has ways to just kill you. And it, like, when the up air hits you, at least maybe I don't know how to SDI it, it just fucks you. You just get reset onto a platform into up air, up B, and she kills you off the top or off the top of the side or whatever. Trust me. I played this offline at top level. I played this offline at top level. I have not yet on this one, and this is still really bad, even online, where they're not 100% hitting their combos. So I know this is going to be worse offline. Mega Man is abysmal online, as is Duck Hunt, but like offline, it's even worse. For Mega Man, he could be more precise. He could do Z-drop infinites or like crazy damage combos. Everyone's gonna feel a certain type of way that I don't put Pikachu in the -3, but Pikachu does not belong in the -3 section. I'm sorry. I actually have a lot of matchup experience. Maybe I would feel different about some of these other characters if I fought against them as much as I have versus Pikachu, but I am so like experienced in this matchup, I'm not scared of any Pikachu out there just because I know what to do. And if you think about it, Pikachu is stubby and it's like T-Jolt is whatever. It's like you could play around it. People think it's like infallible, but it's really not. The point is you can outrange Pikachu. ZSS Zair is one of the biggest problems, and the fact that you get your longevity denied. Sora's entire spell neutral just shuts DK down, and you get Touch of Death. If not, two hits equals death. Same versus ZSS, it's like one advantage, and then you survive, and then second advantage, you die. That's what these characters are, these three characters here. Mega Man is just, you just don't ever get to play the game. The grappler game. Same with Duck Hunt. And Falco is actually making me think that he's not in the same tier. I think he goes in the -2 because Falco actually does have some, sure, he has cinematic combos on DK, but he has like super duper duper weaknesses that DK can capitalize on and just like make the game, you know, he has cheese that's very reliable and edge guards that are very reliable on Falco that makes it just like, okay, it's not that bad. It's not a -3. I don't know. I'll probably order the -2s. I'm just gonna kind of look at them and just like throw them in where I think they go right now, like really fast. I guess there's gonna be a lot of echoes, so I'll skip the echoes and just use the ones that I'm like used to. Banjo. Oh shit. Banjo's a -2. I don't think we're adding any more to the -3 section. It hurts my pride to put Mario in the -3. It really does. Because I've never lost that badly to Mario before. Like, when I say it's bad, like, I have it recorded, but I have my matches recorded from Supernova, by the way. I haven't even gotten to Steve yet. Yeah, Steve, I'm looking for Steve. I keep seeing the echoes. I can put Enderman, I guess. But, like, where is actually Steve? Like, where's he at? I see Alex. I see Enderman. There he is. Yeah, Steve goes probably here, but, like, where, though? It might honestly be there. He might just be, like, the easiest -3. Because he's gimmicky. And I think if you're good at the matchup and you have discipline and you're just like, okay, I'm not going to fight him. I'm just going to charge punch, sit here and wait for him to minecart and back air him. And if you could be disciplined and just do that, you can win. Oh yeah, Game & Watch. Yeah, Game & Watch, definitely we have to talk about. Where does he go? Literally, you just wait against Steve and wait for him to make a bad commitment. He has way worse movement than you. His minecart is the only good movement that he has. But then once you get hit, there's all this other bullshit you've never seen before. And if you don't know how to survive it in disadvantage or SDI or whatever, then you just die. But like, so for that reason, maybe that's his gimmick factor might push him up a bit. But for now, I'm going to leave him as the easiest -3. I'm gonna have the most pessimistic matchup chart. You guys are not ready. So Game & Watch is tough, but if he was in a -3, he'd be easier than Steve. So I feel like he's not a -3 for me personally. I feel like he's harder to fight than Pikachu for me. So these are ordered in that like Sora's the hardest, Steve's the easiest. Game & Watch is the hardest in this row, and then Banjo's the easiest, right? Bayo's actually really, really tough. Oh, I just haven't gotten to all the characters yet. It's going to be really hard to order these at some point because there's going to be so many in some of the sections, so but maybe I will order them. This might be overly pessimistic. I think DK has a lot of tools against Bayo, actually. I'm gonna put my chat over here so I can see you guys better. Min -3? I don't think so. I think she's one of those characters where, again, she's a mini game. And because she has such crazy weaknesses, like her disadvantage sucks. It's so bad. It's so bad that if you hit her once, she's probably dead. Especially if you hit her in the corner with the dash attack at the right percents, or you get a grab on her in the corner at 0 or something, right? Like, Minmin does not have a good time getting hit by DK, and she gets edge guarded very easily. So for that reason, like, sure, it's bad. Like, neutral sucks, and you just get cheesed and you die, but I don't think it's harder than a -2. But I do think that she's difficult. Harder than Banjo? I don't know, man. Really don't. I played a really good Min at Double Down in 2022 or whatever it was, and I was basically about to win, and I lost just because I didn't play the matchup enough, and I tried like going off stage and I got hit by like Omega Watt stage spike at like 40 or something. Yeah, you just have to wait for her to whiff. You have to wait for her, like, read her pattern of when she's gonna swing, and then like fall on top of her with Nair. The -2 section looks more like your -3 than the -3 does. Interesting. Well, some of this, like for Mega Man, I'm putting a lot of respect on Mega Man's name because I actually have a super ton of matchup experience in that matchup, so I can do probably well, if not beat most Mega Man players, except Minty Flesh. And when I play him, I don't know, it's rough. But again, I might move these around, like I said. He's just as good at the matchup as I am. And this is, again, maybe starting off overly pessimistic, but let's just throw characters in, and then we'll just, like, mix and match as we go. Bowser Jr. is probably a lot worse than I'm thinking. I think it's pretty tough. I think Min Min's easier. Banjo is like a huge gimmick character. Banjo's hard. I'm gonna say, but Bowser Jr. is harder. What I didn't do is I fucked up. Maybe I should make like another, I should put like DK's face at the top, like everyone else does. I should make like another row. add a tier. Can I like move these around? DK matchup chart. September 24. Can I move this? Thank goodness. Ooh, fucking Pac-Man, man. This one I just don't understand yet. So I don't think it's -3. I just think I'm bad at the matchup. But this is where the opinion really comes into play here. Like, if I'm really good at a matchup, I think my opinion on that matchup is, like, correct. Like, where Pikachu is placed here is correct. I can 1,000% with certainty say that. Any other character, I'm not really sure. As much as I can say for Pikachu. And for DK, obviously, that doesn't really matter. I don't think Pac-Man goes here. I just kind of was placing him. I think he's probably going to be -2. Again, I think I'm personally very inexperienced against Pac-Man. I will lose to any Pac-Man player. Because when it comes down to it, I will get hit by the bell. Because I don't know how to interact with it yet. So, take my opinion against Pac-Man with a grain of salt. Byleth is really rough. It's really hard. Is it harder than Bayo? Probably not. Probably something like this. I don't think Falco is -3. No. When Falco, like, if you're getting outplayed by a Falco, sure, it's going to look like -1,000. But if you literally hit Falco off stage, he is so susceptible. That's why some of these characters where your guys are like, oh, it's -3, like Min Min. No. Min Min dies when Min Min's off stage. This is all my opinion. All of this is my opinion. It's not like I don't care what you guys are saying, but like, I understand that you guys have opinions too, but these are just my opinions. So a lot of it might change. Am I gonna place all of the Pokemon trainer characters individually? I might. This is gonna be such a pessimistic list, guys. It's gonna be funny. Chrome. I'm gonna place them, and then maybe I'll do like a brief discussion on each of them. I just want to place them really fast. Is Corrin worse than a -1? I don't think so. The thing is, like, when Peach is, like, not optimized, it's a -1. When she's optimized, it's a -2. It's hard. And the other thing is that, sure, if you're fighting a Charizard where they're one of those solo Zard, right? They're just a solo Zard. They don't even play the other characters. Then it would be even. But the only time you see Charizard is when his up smash is killing you, his forward tilt is killing you, or his back air is killing you. And then he goes away. At least against all of the good Pokemon trainer players that I've ever fought, that's just how it is. And when he's there in those situations, he's so scary. And it's so annoying. And then he gets the kill, and then he goes away. Or he just, you know, that's it. And then, like, he did his job. Maybe he'll get a little bit more damage, and then he dies, and then it's back to Squirtle. Like, I don't really know how useful it is to place them each individually. But yeah, I do agree that it would be even if Zard was there by himself the whole time. DK would have the edge. But if he's there, like, in his specialty, like, when you're about to die, because you're at a high percent, it's terrifying. That's why, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't think the survey had him separated. Alright. I think it's actually worth separating them. I think I usually do that, so I don't mind doing that. Oh, the survey. Oh, okay. So in that case, that's fine. Like, this matchup chart is so that I could easily fill out the survey. So I'll just make sure to... I'm still going to place PT overall somewhere. And if I had to place them overall, I would probably put them as a -2 because Ivysaur is a -2. And they're predominantly going to be Ivysaur, so... Hero. I actually have to put some respect on Doc's name. I usually thought that we like beat Doc by a lot, but I don't know. Doc is harder than I thought nowadays. To be fair, every character killing at 30 nowadays, it's true. Yeah, like, when a Peach optimizes their combo game with turnips, like, if you can play the matchup perfect and keep the turnip out of their hand, you can win. If you don't do that, and they have the ability to pull turnips, like, or from a distance, or they have good RNG, or really it just comes down to, do they have a good combo game with a turnip, and they hit you with it, those are 0 to deaths, or 0 to 80s, like. No, Steve is -3 already. Just edge guarding? Yeah. I mean... Okay, let's keep going. Dark Pit. I think Dark Pit is easier than regular Pit. Guys, my matchup chart. I guess we're going to separate Dark Samus and Samus, because they're technically 2 different characters. They're not, though. They're kind of the same. They're both -2, doesn't matter. Diddy might be worse than I'm thinking. Diddy actually low key. I haven't fought versus the top level one enough to know. But I just have a feeling if I ever fought Tweak, it would feel like a -3. I just have a feeling. I just have a feeling, dude. I have not beaten a top level Diddy in bracket yet. I can beat any other Diddy, but once I get to like beastly level of Diddy Kong or harder, it's fucking insanely hard. Because their banana control is insane and they fuck you up. Also on the vertical stream, you guys can no longer see some of the -2s, so I'm gonna resize this, I guess. It's gonna be hard to see stuff, but I'll do my best. There. There, at least now you can see some stuff. There. Shit. And then if I scroll down, we have the +2 and shit down there. Okay, so Fox. Fox is tough. Okay, -2 literally probably won't be ordered. -3 will be ordered. -2 will be not ordered for now. I'm just gonna throw people places. Ganondorf, I still think goes in +2. Greninja is really, really, really hard. Very difficult character to fight. Fox is -2 unless you're playing light. Nah. Have Chunky and Light played since the last time that they played? Have they played again? Or no? The first time that they played, Light had never seen aerial uppy out of shield before, and he got hit by it probably like 30 times. And he got PDKO'd a bunch of times too. And the second that Light knows that exists, and he just like laser camps and then like pressures, I don't know, I just feel like that's like one of those things where it's like a player matchup knowledge check, It's like a player head-to-head check. It's like, oh, you underestimated Chunky Kong. You'll get destroyed. And I feel like, I don't know if he ever adapted from that in the run back. I don't know how many sets they've played, but actually I think it was Light won, like a little bit more like convincingly, and then the next set that they played, it was closer. I think Chunky took a game or two, and then the last set they played, like Chunky just swept him. It was like not even close. So that I'm definitely not saying that's a fluke. I just feel like it's trending in Chunky Kong's direction of DK versus Fox, but also like I think other Fox players might just be more experienced against Donkey Kong than Light was at that time, or maybe whatever. Like I don't know. Maybe he just wasn't playing as well that tournament. It's always possible. We'd have to see how they do the next time to have like. It was too swift of a dispatch to be like, okay, well now this matchup's even for DK. No, that's not what it was. It was like there were things happening that were like not being adapted to in those sets. So far, I'm not doing -2 yet. Alright, we're gonna put this down here. Oh, Sonic. What's up, Sonic? Sonic is probably... This is like one of those things where everyone is like optimistic about Sonic, and there's a lot of DKs that are getting wins on Sonic players. But if Sonic just decides to like, oh, I'm gonna get a stock lead and time you out, then it's GG. Like the matchup literally changes for Sonic depending on like who has the percent lead. So that's kind of weird. If you have the percent lead against Sonic, you can win pretty easily. You never have to approach anymore. You can just sit back and down B. I just don't know if Sonic is as hard as these other -3s, but he might be. But it's just hard to say. Yeah, I think he is. But I think it's like one of the easier ones up there. Like he's fightable, but you have to know like how to fight him. You have to know how to parry homing attack or spot dodge it or roll it and hard punish it. You have to know how to edge guard him, which I only just sort of started figuring out recently, that you need to use the aerial down B spike. Yeah, that's bad. That's bad for us. It's a very bad matchup. I've always said Sonic was -3. If I change my mind, he would be like the hardest -2. But the other problem with Sonic is this. I don't know if you'll be able to see this on the vertical one, but this window exists, right? 61 to 72, but you're never grabbing Sonic at the percents that you need to, or period. I feel like anytime I get a grab, like it's like, oh, it's, I don't know, it's just never the right percent, because Sonic gets to decide when he gets grabbed. If he doesn't take the risk, then he doesn't have to take a risk. Yes, that's monkey.gg. Okay, let's keep going. I'm losing pace here. Getting sidetracked. Ice climbers. I have to put a little bit more respect on ice climbers. I was always thinking, oh, it's not that bad. I actually don't think it is that bad. I think it's -1, if anything. Ike. A lot of the sorries, I'm probably just going to default to putting them in even. Incineroar at one point I said was +2. I think he's dropping down to even because I don't know. This character is not easy to fight, actually, sometimes. No, this is just me being realistic. This is not like result-based. It's my experience over playing Ultimate for 6 years, given I haven't competed offline nearly as much. I play much more online than I have offline in this game, but you know, my opinions are changing over time. I used to think Incineroar was +2, and now I've fought against Incineroar players that literally go last hit with me even though I feel like I thought DK won that matchup. So I think I'm gonna have to put some respect on Incinerar's name now. Yeah, he just has that comeback factor. It just built into him. Inkling, I fucking hate this character, but it's probably not as bad as some of these -2s. I think it's a really hard -1. Could be a -2. Could be wrong about that. The thing is that, like, once you realize that you just have to stand on a platform, all of a sudden Inkling, like, can't do everything they were trying to do. But that being said, if you're not standing on the platform, it's like a hard -2 because you'll just get caught by everything. You'll get grabbed, you get comboed for days, you get dragged off the stage by the combo, and then they get 2 frames for free. It's just really annoying. Isabel. I like how DK does against Isabel. I used to think it was +1 DK, but I have to put some respect on Isabel's name now. Notice that there's no positive matchups yet. Now, this does definitely go into a positive matchup. I firmly believe that DK does well against Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff players will love to deny that and say that, like, oh, Jigglypuff edgeguards the shit out of DK. No, not if you know how to recover. If you save your jump and you have reverse charge cancel, double jump back air, and you know how to, like, linger and space the intangibility of your up B, you can deal with anything that Jigglypuff tries to do when you're off stage. Also, you have double jump up air if she tries to, like, drop Nair on you or something. Like, that doesn't work. I never get edge guarded by Jigglypuff, and if I do, it's because I accidentally or stupidly wasted my double jump or something, you know? If you don't have a jump, sure, you get edge guarded. But if you know how to play the game and you know how to recover, you're gonna kill her early and you're gonna survive to the high percents. And you have to have good SDI. Sorry, that's also a thing. This I used to think was a -2. However, recent developments make me think otherwise. Maybe the hardest -1. That's optimistic. But I think DK does pretty well against Joker. And Joker is very meta, right? So that's good for us. Like -1, that's, I mean, it doesn't sound good, but I could see some people putting Joker in even +2 in Joker's favor. Well, I haven't fought MK Leo's Joker yet, so I wouldn't know, but I think DK has the tools to win versus Joker. And by that I mean, like, some of these matchups too, like a lot of these, I should think about how aerial spinning Kong actually makes the matchups, like, is it viable? Does it work in those matchups or does it not work? And I guess you can't see again on here. I'm gonna resize this. Like, it's really good against Fox, or so we thought. So, like, this is going back to the Fox explanation again. So, like, DK versus Fox, right? If he nairs on shield, you can aerial spinning Kong. Well, Fox's nair on shield is still, if he spaces right, safe enough for him to just, like, respect it. Or he could, like, make it look like he's gonna nair on shield, and since he falls so fast, and he is so fast, he can instead, like, fade away with the nair at the last second and then just block, and now your up B is like whiffing and then you get punished. So Fox is so fast and his tomahawk is so good that he could bait out your short hop up B out of shield. So it's like there's built-in counterplay because Fox is so fast and such a fast faller that you're not always going to get the up Bs. I was actually talking to Tweak about this, and he said he was fighting Light, and he said that Light started adapting by just baiting out the aerial up B out of shield. Like, just like feinting, like making it look like he's gonna hit shield with nair, and then like double jumping or like fading back or something while DK's facing you in shield. I don't know. But this is all theory craft. How am I more negative? Because I'm a realist. Okay, Kazuya. Well, I don't have the +1s and +2s sorted yet. Like, some of them exist. They're in there somewhere. I just don't know where yet. I'm not going to put them in there just for the sake of like, oh, we have this category, I'm going to put that character in there. Where's Little Mac, by the way? Just so you, if you guys want to see more pluses. There you go. So it's going to be ranked in terms of Sora, I think, is the hardest to fight. And then on the very, very bottom right will be the easiest character for us to fight. So I think that's Little Mac and Ganon. They both go there. I think Snake, here's the thing. If Snake is like actively trying to like do everything and like use his whole kit, I think it's -1. But if he just camps the fuck out of you and that's it, it's probably -2. But on average, I don't know. I think it's too positive minded to put Snake as -1. Bum, bum, bum. Wait, what are you talking about? If you subbed, refresh. If you're subbed, you don't have ads. What are you talking about, dude? You're on Twitch. If subs don't get ads on my Twitch. If that's not the case, please let me know. Yeah, if you're subbed, you're good. Just refresh. Oh, you want to hear the Kazuya? Oh yeah, Kazuya. So at one point, I was thinking more positively about Kazuya. But DK is literally not allowed to even make a mistake against Kazuya. What's it called? You can't even like back air in neutral in that matchup because he can just electric you. And even then, like for a long time, grounded down B was like a really good tool against him, and it still is. But you could pretty much only do retreating back air and grounded down B fully spaced against Kazuya. If you do something a little closer than that, and a good Kazuya that knows how to fight you, they're gonna parry, or they're gonna do something to deal with your grounded down B. They're gonna parry the second hit. They're gonna parry the first hit and then electric you if you're too close. I think that's too pessimistic, though. I think most Kazuyas don't know all the counterplay against DK stuff, so for that reason, I'll probably put him in -1 for now. But I don't know. Like, I can lose to any Kazuya. So no, I will put him in -2. Like, maybe on the very, very, like, the easiest -2. Game & Watch is definitely tough, but I think it's the same way that Bayonetta could feel like a -3 if you don't know the matchup. But if you know what to do and you're disciplined, I think you can, because he's paper thin, you can actually like use your power to be able to kill him. Again, I don't mind you guys stating your opinions, but that's just what they are. They're opinions. They're not facts. So just please don't try to state them as facts. I'll just let you know that everything that I state is an opinion as well. Okay, so Ken is very difficult. Ken is probably a -2. DDD is very, very, very doable for DK. To the point where I might even go so far as to say it's +1. But I don't know if that's okay to say. It's either even or +1. This might be one of the more one of the more idealist things. Because I've struggled so much versus DDD, but I know it's because it's online, it's difficult. And then when you go offline and you fight him, it's much easier. It's much easier fighting DDD offline. Online, he gets to Gordo spam, and it's just like, okay, well, that it's online, and you like can't react with shield or like your moves sometimes. K-Rool. People are probably gonna be mad at me for this one. Some people think that K-Rool beats DK. I do not. I'm not one of those people. I think it's a canon matchup, and DK does well against K-Rool. He has the tools to do well. I did just fight a first to 5 versus a K-Rool earlier. Maybe I haven't fought versus the best K-Rools, so maybe this is why I feel this way. But is it on the same level as Jigglypuff? No, I think Jigglypuff is easier to fight. So Jigglypuff should be the easiest +1 on here, with maybe K-Rool being here. I'm not really sure. I'm figuring the order is a little confusing, but yeah, you just ban FD and you're fine. Now Kirby, you would think, is just as easy to fight as Jigs, but Kirby's combo game is actually super fucked up, and his edge guard game is actually really fucked up. So for that reason, I think, does Kirby go even? I don't know, man. Now against Kirby, at least we have like really early PDKOs, and it's pretty easy to stuff him out with down tilts and get trips into dash grab. So I want to say that we could put Kirby in even, but I don't know, man. Kirby just has too many tools. I would put Mega Man in -2 if Minty Flesh didn't exist. -3 is surely an exaggeration. Dude, like, I basically threw against Peebnut, but when I play against you, it feels like we both know the matchup just as well, right? So even then, like, if you're playing on point and we both know the matchup really well, I just lose. Like, I can't win. Like, I can't win games against you if you're on point. So if we have equal matchup knowledge and we're like placing the same at majors all the time and stuff, you'd think we'd be trading games back and forth. It doesn't always happen. It's almost like depends on when you and I are playing, it comes down to like who is playing better on that day, and that person wins. But even if we're both on point, you will always win, is what it feels like. That's why I feel like even with as much matchup knowledge as I have, it's gotta be bad, dude. It's gotta be bad. Yet when I fight against Pikachu with all the matchup knowledge that I have, I win. So I know it's not a -3. If that's kind of like how my thinking goes with some of these. Link, I don't really know. So if I don't know, I just kind of put them in -1. Lucario, I don't really know. Lucas, I don't really know. I'll move these around. People will be mad at me saying that DK versus Lucina is even, but I literally go back and forth with Mr. E. We trade games back and forth, so it's even. That's also one of my best matchup experience. One of the matchups I have the most years of matchup experience in is fighting like Marth and Lucina. So I pretty much know what I'm talking about when that comes to that character. Marth, I have not fought one that only tippers me yet, so until I do, it's going to be a +1. Marth kind of struggles to kill DK unless if he's getting only tippers, and like he has the ability to do it, but like consistency matters against super heavies. I feel like it could be even he could peak at -1 versus DK if he's hitting all tippers or something. Terry at 1, it's funny. 4 years ago I had Terry as a +2, right? But nowadays I think Terry is much harder than that. But it's maybe somewhere around even. I'm trying to think, like, when the last time I sat down and I played riddles in tournament, right? He went Kazuya game 1, he went Terry game 2. The Kazuya he actually switched off of to go Terry, either to mix me up or the fact that we were on small battlefield and he was just like, yeah, just switching up the matchup, and both of them are really fucking good on small battlefield. Moral of the story, I shouldn't have been fighting him on small battlefield. because both of those characters excel there. I think Terry's gonna have to be lower than a... I don't know. You guys are not ready. He's always done better with Terry versus DK. I see. I think Kazuya is still a worse matchup. So I'm gonna not base it based off of riddles. Luigi. This matchup's bad. I've beaten every single Luigi I've ever fought pretty dominantly, except for Guy. When I play Guy, he must have so much DK matchup experience because he lives in New York. He's from Long Island, so he made it feel impossible. Like, I want to order this one and like put Luigi like up here or something. It's doable, I know it is, but it requires you to take like stupid risks. Like, I know Luigi is gonna Zair in the corner. I'm gonna run and ground it up E and armor through it. Like, that's a suicidal moment for DK to do that. But if you don't do that, you're not gonna get past the Zairs if you're playing like passive versus it. Like, you have to make like call outs that if you were wrong, you get shoryu'd or you get grabbed and you die. It's problematic. Meta Knight I actually think is pretty doable for DK. I don't think it's that bad, but it involves a lot of STI knowledge. I played Show recently on Quick Play for like 2 or 3 games, and you know, there's a lot of gimmicks, there's a lot of matchup stuff going on there, and he cheesed me, I won't lie. He has all of the cheese down, right? But the second that you like know how to SDI out of the up air combos, you just keep SDIing behind Meta Knight and mashing up air. It's like, and then you pivot grab his dash attack or his dash grab, and then you PDK him, and you also just never go off stage. The problem with this is that Meta Knight can basically always kill you with edge guards. He has some of the craziest edge guarding, and for that reason I might have to take him out of even and put him in -1. He not only can cheese DK off the top, but he has some of the craziest, most gimmicky edge guards, which involve like, oh, I'm just gonna drill rush you and then hit you, it's like spikes you down and then he pops back up to ledge. It's like, okay, sure. Stupid. Mewtwo. Ooh, I feel good about Mewtwo. I think Mewtwo is a +1. I've never lost to a Mewtwo in Smash Ultimate, ever. Never lost to Puff, I've never lost to Marth. I've never lost to... And the thing is, I used to really feel poorly about King Dedede, but I've learned the matchup, so that's why. I earned the ability to place him here. The rest of these, I just don't lose to those characters. So that's why I'm putting +1. Oh, I didn't really talk about Terry much. Terry is mostly like, he just has a... He's like gimpable and edge guardable and like whatever, but he's got the DLC factor, bro. He could just kill you. He just kills you sometimes. For that reason, actually, I don't think Terry is going to be even anymore. I used to think Terry was +2, but I think he's like -1 now. I personally haven't figured out how to grab Terry consistently, because if he does crack shoot, unless if you super duper outspace it with a dash back pivot grab, you're not grabbing. If it hits your shield, he's safe. Like, I don't know if you can aerial up B out of shield. This is just matchup inexperience for me versus Terry. I don't know everything you can aerial up B out of shield. I think you can, when he does Nair on shield, I think you can aerial up B, but like, he just has too much of a DLC factor that it cheeses DK. Like, this would be an even matchup if he didn't have the ability to cheese. Not just DK, but his cheese, it negates DK's longevity as a super heavy. And Terry has a much better recovery than I thought. Like, at first, Terrys were not recovering well. Now all the Terrys, they recover well, so. I think it's one of those things where he would probably be even if I knew how to SDI versus everything, if I knew how to avoid every setup. Also, DK can't consistently SDI up and in to get out of jab jab power dunk. Almost every other character can. If I were playing a different character, I would be able to, but as Donkey Kong, he's too fucking big, and he won't be able to get out or get behind him consistently. Kind of the same thing for Ken's like up tilts into Shoryu. Whatever the string is, down tilt into Shoryu. You can like SDI behind him, but like, and I could do it with other characters, but DK is just, he's just too fucking big. DK has a DLC grab? No, DK has, he has a big standing grab range, but it's slower than other grabs. And if you're getting pivot grabbed by DK, that's your fault. You know it exists. Like, why are you getting pivot grabbed? Respect it. Like, outspace it. You know he has a good pivot grab. I don't know. That's just the way I look at it. Grabs are huge commits. If you bait someone to grab, you just punish them. I don't know. It's the characters with broken dash grabs. Those are the DLC grabs. Game & Watch dash grab. Broken. Who else has a broken dash grab? Falcon? That makes sense, at least. Game & Watch does not make sense. How good it is. It should not be that good. Oh, yes, Robert. Rob. Robotic operating buddy. Yeah, Inkling dash grab is toxic. Alright, so Rob is definitely, for me personally, he's probably a -3, but I think he's like a really hard -2. Probably. And that's being optimistic for me. Brawler. Ooh, this matchup sucks. He's like a really, really hard, I want to say hard -2, but like, I don't know, man. He's like, the only reason I won't put him in -3 is because I might still. He's very, if I have Mario there, why don't I have Brawler there? Because Mario can kill you off the top, or he can combo you into a spike. Brawler can only kill you off the top, and it's very stage dependent. If you fight him on like Battlefield, you're gonna live. If you fight him on Kalos, you're gonna live. Don't tell them that. If you fight him on FD, you're gonna live. So like, it's very stage dependent. But if you fight on like PS2, Small Battlefield, Hollow Bastion, you're gonna get fucking destroyed, and you're gonna die at like 30 or 40. It's gonna be like ZSS. But the difference is that Neutral is a little bit more playable against Brawler, whereas against ZSS she has like way safer. She has like Zaire and some shit. I don't know. I'm really thinking about putting Brawler in -3. I've seen a lot of top DKs just straight up lose to Brawler, but it always comes down to they're not playing on the right stages. But then it actually comes down to if Brawler is banning the correct stages and taking you to the correct stages, you cannot win. Not consistently. It's dumb. It's hard. Gunner seems like a matchup check. I'm just gonna put it in -2. I don't know where it goes though. Sword Fighter is really annoying. I don't know if it's as hard as Gunner. Something tells me it isn't. I don't know though. Nair into F smash in the corner? That's true. I mean, if you get caught by that, that's on you. Brawler just smashes Nair in general. But if they Nair on your shield, it's punishable by aerial up at a shield. I think. Yeah, there are some, like, I can go back through this list and be like, these are the characters where the stage matters the most. That actually would be kind of unique to do that, I feel like. I think Brawler is definitely one of those. If you're like, oh, let's just start PS2, let's do harder on PS. Do not go to PS2 against Brawler. Please. Please, God, don't do it. Alright. Mithra Pyra, I'll probably separate them, but together, they're probably a -. I don't think it's that bad. Even with the DLC factor. If Mithra were to go, like, by herself against DK, I really don't know how this works. Is that weird? If they were to stay only Pyra or only Mithra, I think it's easier to fight them. But if they're like optimizing and like switching back and forth the way that they should be, people are going to say like, oh, how can you not say it's a -2? Maybe. Maybe it is. I think it probably is. And then I think this is going to change. I'll shift it like this. I'll make them a -2 and then I'll make them both -1s. Cause like you could say even, but like I don't know. This is my chart. This is not the community chart. This is my matchup chart. DK definitely has -3s. But again, I might be more pessimistic than others here. You are not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming? Wait, what's going on here? Is my YouTube short stream okay? It says my stream status is poor. I don't know what's going on. That's weird. Well, if it's still working, then we're good. Otherwise, I'm sorry, guys. YouTube is dropping the ball here. It could be me, the fact that I'm doing a display capture. Optimistic DKs and pessimistic. Listen, it's better to be a pessimist and a realist than it is an optimist. Because if you're an optimist about matchups, you're gonna lose, and it's gonna hit you upside the head, and you're gonna be like, where did that come from? If you have things in a way that's like, man, this matchup takes a lot more studying, a lot more matchup knowledge, and you just have it, you're more level-headed about it and be like, fuck, I need to know way more here. And even if knowing all that stuff is not enough, then it's bad. It's worse than you think. And again, this changes over time. Of course. Man, Ness is bad. Ness is bad, dude. Is it a -3? I don't know, but it's fucking up there, man. It's borderline a -3. I don't know why I don't want to, because I like looking at Sonic and I just feel like he's just like holding the guard here for the -3s. Ness is really hard for DK. It's really bad. It might be -3. I'm not gonna lie. Wi-Fi Ness -3? True. I guess I haven't really fought versus Ness offline much. Okay, Pichu not as hard as Pikachu. Just because he's super fucking light. But then again, the combo game is so good that you can just die. And the airspeed is so good that you just get like down aired. Ness is a matchup check, and even when you have all the knowledge as DK, it doesn't matter. Is Min Min in this same category? Yes, that's like another thing. Sometimes it's like you just get caught by stuff and it just doesn't matter. Like you know what to do against Min Min and you just still die. How is Game & Watch not -3? Probably just because I haven't fought enough good ones for me to feel like it is that way. Once I started playing this matchup really disciplined, I play against Game & Watch the same way I play against Mario. The difference is Mario has a better ability to approach, I feel like, and like hit shield and cross up and like get grabs on you. Game & Watch, if you just wall him, he struggles. Like, I play the same matchup style against both Game & Watch and Mario, and against Mario it doesn't work, and against Game & Watch it does. You just like F-tilt, giant punch, grounded down B, spacing, and like he's like too slow to really like. Now, the edge trapping is really bad, the juggling is bad, but like neutral it's doable. And also he's light, so you can kill him. Olimar. Even. Thoughts on Steve and their disadvantage state versus DK? I think Steve actually does not have a great disadvantage against DK. I think he gets wrecked. Also, thank you for the 100 bits. Appreciate that, Bencho. That's something we could actually consider. Like, how good are the disadvantage of these characters against DK? And that could maybe potentially drop them from -3 to -2. In theory, Steve should drop to a minus. He has a very bad disadvantage compared to some of these other characters. Sora has a crazy recovery. I don't know how good his disadvantage is, though, in general. His down air is not that hard to play around. ZSS, crazy disadvantage. Sonic, pretty sure he has a good disadvantage. Mega Man, not so hot. Mario, not so much. So that's not necessarily how it goes. Diddy, crazy disadvantage, right? So like, you could look at it that way, but that's not like how I'm deciding that they're -3s or -2s. Because then Pikachu, with one of the best recoveries and the best disadvantage maybe in the game, would be -3, but I just don't think that that's the case. But like I said, I have more matchup knowledge than any other Donkey Kong in this matchup, so I know that I'm correct in where I place Pikachu. I'm just gonna state that. And the only Pikachu I haven't fought recently that's really good is Esam. I did fight Shiny Mark. He was probably still on his come up. He's way better now, Shiny Mark. But when I did play him, this is how I felt about the matchup. Alright, Enderman goes down here. Echo. Plants. Plants is hard. Is it a -2? No. It could be even. I'm not sure. I don't play against Plant enough. Plant is, it's like a matchup check. There are gimmicks. I don't really know what makes up the even category for me. And +1 and +2 are just like very definitive. There's like, it's a very limited category, I feel like. -3 is ordered for me, yes. Everyone will say that like, oh, but DKs are beating Sonics. So, not Sonics, but like Sonic players will lose to Donkey Kong. Doesn't make the matchup even. That's like, that's something that I don't agree with. The matchup is not good. It just really comes down to the fact that the Sonic has to play for the timeout. And if he's not playing for a timeout, he's not trying to win. If Sonic has a % lead, he should not be fighting you, and he has all the tools to just run away. Alright, so Dark Pit I had in -1. I think Pit is harder than Dark Pit. But are they out of this enough to put him into a different tier? The arrows, the way that the arrows work, maybe. I'm gonna put a little bit of respect on Pit's name here. I don't think it's that hard though. I'm gonna put him in like a hard -1. Like they're both gonna be at -1s, but I think Pit is harder than Dark Pit. I don't know. The arrows are a big difference. It's enough to make it so that now Pit can set up edge guards on you, whereas Dark Pit can't really. So he'll be a borderline -2. Yeah, DK dash attack just existing kills all of the Pikmin. If he has Pikmin other than a purple and you dash attack his shield, it kills all of them to the point where he can't even grab out of shield afterwards. But now if he has purples, of course this changes things. You have to know how to play against the purples. Basically, I played against the Buzz's Olimar, and after a few games, he's just like, yeah, this is why we don't play Olimar in this matchup. Or just in general, like, I'm pretty sure I made him in a 4-hour sit-down in 2019 where we played DK versus Olimar, and I was predominantly winning the matches, is where he put on his matchup chart that DK versus Olimar was even. He was very pessimistic about the character at the time, but that's usually how people talk when their character is losing to Donkey Kong. They get pessimistic about the character, but it's just the matchup, I think. Speaking of characters that he plays, Rosa. This is a hard one. There's no Rosas nearly as good. It's bad. It's at least a -2. I don't think it's a it's not. The reason it's not a -3 is because y'all didn't play a Smash 4 if you think Rosalina and Luma is a -3. That was like one of the worst matchups of all time. Maybe the worst matchup in the game in Smash 4 was Rosa versus DK. If not Bayo versus DK, but Smash 4 Rosa was -4. Yeah, exactly. So like after that, there's some bias there, but like this, it's not nearly as difficult. Like you have a launcher hit on aerial up B now. You can actually kill Luma with a lot of things. So Bayo Ganon was considered worst. I could see it. I can see that. Well, it was definitely a bottom 3 worst matchup. Top 3 best matchup in the game for Rosa. Okay, PT. We have some PT action here. I didn't play Squirtle yet. If I was fighting Zard by himself, I think this is how it would go. I think Zard would be even. I think Squirtle would be -1, and I think Ivysaur would be -2. Personally. It's really weird to place them individually because nobody's going to play only Squirtle or only Ivysaur. Well, that's not true. They do play only Ivysaur versus you for the most part. They do Squirtle just for the optimal 0 to 60. They switch to Ivysaur, they stay Ivysaur, and then they switch to Charizard for the optimal kill. But the way I'm placing these characters is if they were just solo that character versus you the whole time. That's always how I do that. But PT is going to be a -2. And it's going to be harder than Ivysaur because if they're playing optimally, I don't know how much harder it'll be. This -2 is not really ordered, so. Also on the vertical, you guys can't see everything, so I'm gonna shrink it down again so you can see stuff. Sorry, it's gonna be all shrunken now, but you can still probably get the idea of what's going on. Worst matchups at the top, best matchups at the bottom. Oh, ordered? Yeah, yeah. Right. -2, I might order, but for the most part, it's ordered, sort of. Richter. This is one that has always been controversial to me. The reason I say this is controversial is because before Hikaru moved on to Street Fighter and was still playing Smash, he had this as the best matchup in the game for DK. Now I see where he's coming from now, because with an optimized advantage state, you can kill Richter off of a single hit, which is kind of like Min Min, but like the neutral against Richter is still very problematic. And disadvantage is not great either. But Richter, you know, he gets shit on when he gets hit, and he gets really, really, really cheesed. But I don't think it's a +2. And I think because of, I don't know, I do think that DK has the tools to fight Richter, but I just, the neutral is so difficult that I just have a much different idea of how hard that matchup is. If you're fighting against a really good, if you're fighting against a quick play Richter, no offense, you're gonna win. You're gonna get a grab in the corner, you're gonna cargo down throw him, you're gonna win. You're gonna, you know, if you don't know how to get off the ledge versus a Richter, you're gonna lose. You have to know how to get past the ledge trap. But now all of a sudden, if you're fighting top level Richter, it becomes like neutral becomes a nightmare. But he still is very, 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 very susceptible to stuff. So I'm gonna go -1 at worst. Yeah, I think that's probably about right. So -1 would be like 45, 55. -2 would be like 4, 6. Honestly, I don't know. Actually, I don't know about that. The -3s are so bad that this might be actually like a 2-8. The -2s might be a 3-7, and the -1s might be a 4-6. And if I look at it that way, I don't think Diddy Kong is as bad as some of these other ones, but I think I'm just like, I'm not underestimating like a tweak level Diddy. She's light, but you're never hitting her though. -3 is crazy. I mean, if you only Zaire with ZSS, what am I going to do? I fought versus ZSS recently at Supernova, and I won a money match 3-0 against Andrew T. We ran it back a couple times. In the second set, I think I lost 3-2. And then in the third set, he had so fully adapted on every stage to how to cheese Donkey Kong, no matter what stage we're on, that has at least one platform. And he was banning FD, so I couldn't go there. I went from 3-0ing him to losing 3-2 to losing 3-1. And then I think we might have even played another set where I lost 3-1. So like, winning was like a novelty thing. Like DK beating ZSS is a novelty thing where they're not like familiar with the matchup or how to cheese DK consistently. If you're consistently offline hitting up airs into up B for kills to cheese DK, he's not a super heavy anymore. You might as well be playing a different character. And that's why I actually do feel like I need to play a different character versus ZS. I don't know what character that is. I would still go Donkey Kong because I know the matchup really well, but it doesn't matter. Like, you still get cheesed. And then again, if ZSS just camps you with well-spaced Zaire and then you overcommit to try to do... The other thing too is like, you have to know how to dodge grabs against ZSS. And if you're not doing that and you're just dashing in and getting grabbed, you lose. You know? But then again, the matchup changes if depending on, are you getting grabbed a lot or not? And I think I don't have like proper matchup experience to like bait out grabs against ZS. I don't know. Some of the ZSSs, they don't even grab and they still win. But that's just a ZSS thing. If they're throwing out too many grabs and they're not landing, then she's gonna lose, right? Some of these -3s might change again. Again, this is probably the most pessimistic matchup chart. Again, you guys wanted me to make a matchup chart. This is what it looks like for me. Okay, Byleth I have placed already. Ridley I think is a -1. Robin is a -2 for sure. Corrin we already have placed somewhere. I have her as -1. It might be harder than that, but I'm not sure. Peach we already have as a -2. Roy I think is again a sortie that is very doable for DK. Is it even? I think so. I used to think Roy was -1 and he has like kill power and shit, but like DK does well against sorties, like just straight up. Ryu is not nearly as hard as Ken. In fact, I'm gonna put a little bit of respect on his name though. It's stage dependent. Like if you fight a Ryu on Battlefield, GG. You're getting up aired into up B and you're dying. But you shouldn't, the same way you shouldn't be fighting Mario there, you shouldn't be fighting Ryu there. So just ban Battlefield and you're probably gonna be alright. Until I fight good Ryu players, I can't in good faith put Ryu as anything worse than even. Like, I don't know. There is a ghost behind me? Yeah, Gengar. Alright, so Dark Samus. Oh, IDK, before you were saying that the difference between Samus and Dark Samus is big enough that the fact that the blast hits ledge matters between them. I think that they're both -2 though, and they're probably around the same. And what makes a difference here, and it's maybe just slight, but Samus has a better disadvantage against DK because of the fact that her double jump just completely shrinks her hurt box so much. And that does not happen for Dark Samus. So like the double jump escape like is not good with Dark Samus. Dark Samus has a better roll. Dark Samus has a lower charge shot. Samus has a better double jump hurt box shift, which I think matters a lot. I forget what the other differences are, but they're on Twitter somewhere. Diddy dumpsters her if you ever want to hybrid the two. Oh, what's up, Ren? Yeah, versus that could be the answer, right? Versus ESS. That could be very good matchup coverage there. Again, I never used to think this about TSS. I used to think it was like an easier -2, and I just really knew the matchup really well. And even with knowing the matchup really well, it's still extremely difficult against a ZSS that has adapted to Donkey Kong. It's rough. Can I describe the Duck Hunt matchup? I can do you one better. Join my Discord, and I have a matchup notes channel with an entire write-up on Duck Hunt. I haven't done it for every matchup yet, but I've done it for Duck Hunt Dog, and it's like it's a very it's very clean write-up. Pretty much telling you what to do. And I could sit there and read it for you, but you can just join my Discord and read it yourself. Basically, it's really tough. DK can't get grabs. You have to charge Giant Punch, and you have to edge guard against Duck Hunt. Have I done a full write-up on Sneak? Not yet. Ness, DK is even. You're insane for thinking that. You're trolling. Okay, let's see. Sephiroth. I might put Sephiroth up here, like right near Joker. Now, if I was gonna do that, I will definitely have to say that Joker is harder. I wanted, like, they're like so similar for me in how I fight against them, but I just feel like Sephiroth is a swordy, so he's either easier to deal with and easier to fight than someone as fast as Joker. Yeah, the roster is too much, dude. So Sheik felt like a -3 borderline, like -2 borderline -3 until I learned the matchup. That being said, I still think that Sheik and Joker are very. This is like nobody else is really ordered in -2, but like these two are ordered near each other. Like Joker is a little bit harder than Sheik because he has Arsene, but I fight them both very much the same, and it's with a lot of just nair, not nairing on them, but nairing as a bait, nairing to like get them to do something. And I think I have like a specific strategy written up for Sheik, and it should also be for Joker. It should actually change for Joker as well. Condition shield with nair. If you can get Sheik to be stationary because you're throwing out nairs and, like, you know, getting her to stop moving so much, or if you do throw out the nair and she jumps into it, it trades, like, all of a sudden that's really good for you. But you can't nair on her shield. You have to do it, like, in front of her or while fading back to, like, bait her to try to reach and hit you, and then you have no lag, and then you can down tilt or F tilt or dash tag or dash grab when she shields because you naired. Yeah, I don't know. What's really different about these? Maybe Cloud will be like the hardest even. What's harder between Chrom and Roy? Like, I don't know. I really don't see that much of a difference between them. But Chrom definitely gets cargo down throw killed though, so I could see how actually it's better for DK. So if he is an even, it's gonna be like one of the easiest evens. I really don't know where to put Ryu, actually, which is why I think I'm going to put in -1. I just think that with the kind of combo game that Ryu has, and the kind of... I'm going to put respect on results here, because there's only one... Let's be real. There's only one Ryu. And if you haven't fought that Ryu, you're not going to know where to place him. So I'm going to bump him up a tier to put some respect on Ryu's name. There's not one Ryu. There's a couple Ryus, right? There are two... Yeah, there's two Ryus. Yeah, there's two of them. And I think both of them would make me think it's harder than even. Just postulating there. Chrom is the hardest if you exclude the cheese. I guess they both cheese each other, right? You can kind of cargo down throw gimp either of them, but Chrom has like... That's the thing. He has like very, very viable cheese on DK. It's like, oh, I'm up a stock. I hit you with a fair. You're dead. We were in the corner. You know? Chrom does better versus DK than Roy. I think it gets balanced out. You might be right, but I think it gets balanced out because Roy can actually kill consistently. Chrom has more consistent combos, I would agree. I think Chrom definitely gets cheesed harder than Roy does. I'm not actually sure about that. The thing about Roy's recovery is you can actually down angle F tilt it, whereas versus Chrom's, it's like you better know what the fuck you're doing. What website did I pull up to look at Sheik data? Oh, I didn't necessarily. I just went to this. And then I typed up Sheik to look at this info. If this is what you're talking about. Yeah, but that's how I fight versus Sheik now. And that's what literally the matchup felt like -2, borderline -3, until I specifically played it this way. And now I just beat a high level Sheik in tournament. And I'm not gonna say I was going even with what's his name, WebJP, but I was taking quite a few games off of him once I adjusted my matchup playstyle against him. And before that, I was losing every single game, like getting 2-stocked every game. Until I modified the way that I fought versus Sheik. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's an argument where Chrom could be put in like -1, but I'm just of the idea always that all of the sorties are even for DK. It just kind of always felt like that. Also, I was very decisively up and about to win versus a really good Chrom in tournament at Low Tide City, I think it was. Lavish. I was about to beat Lavish, and I just like did the cardinal sin because I didn't play offline enough and forgot that offline players are really good at punishing normal getup on reaction. So I did like a normal getup into like jab F smash, and I didn't know jab F smash was a thing yet. And I got up into jab F smash and I died at 50% on town versus like a rage Chrom, and he popped off. And I was just like, okay. So from that spacing, jab F smash would have sour spotted with Roy and not even come close to doing anything. But with Chrom, it's consistently kills because it just hits solid and you die. So I just did the wrong ledge option. It's funny because I lost to Flo, or Rufflo, or Flo, I forget. The French Roy at Collision because of something very similar. But I tried to avoid the ledge situation by like aggressively jumping, and he just got there really fast and like called out an F smash, and I died at 50 and he popped off. And I was up 2-0 in that set. Shoutouts to Collision for being best of 5s only. All best of 5s. I was up 2-0 in the set and I lost 3-2. And that was like early in winners. Yeah, it's Flo, sorry. Yeah. I know they're the tags get a little confusing for me. I know they're very similar and they're both French. But it's just like one of those things where I think DK actually does, I think personally, for all the years I've been competing, DK does better in best of 3s than best of 5s, because if you don't play against DK a lot, he has a big novelty effect and like you get matchup checked and stuff. But if you're just like, oh, he gets comboed, oh, his disadvantage sucks, oh, I can bait him a lot, and then you just adapt to the matchup, the longer the set goes, the harder it is for Donkey Kong. to win. Especially if they're doing this correct stage bans and stuff. Is DK a solo main character? Probably not. From looking at this chart, what would you think? For me, again, I made it up and really far into winners at Supernova. I got up to, so I beat Pikachu. I beat a Bowser Wolf. I beat a Pikachu. I beat Sheik. I beat Joker, all with Donkey Kong. And then I fought Snow's Mario out of nowhere. Like the skill level like went, it like skyrocketed. And so did the matchup difficulty. And I should not have been going Donkey Kong. I actually just should have went Lucina against him. I think I would have taken more stock. I wouldn't have won, but I would have had a better showing with a Swordy, knowing that he was going to stick Mario no matter what. He wasn't going to switch. So if I went Lucina, like that's like a plus, at least a +1, +2 for Lucina. Why would I play a -2, -3 as DK against Mario? You know? It just comes down to a point where if you have other characters and you get far enough in the bracket, and this is me, of all people, DKwill, of all people, saying this. But you already know that Smash Ultimate is not really a solo main game, though. Alright, so Shulk is pretty tough. I don't know. I haven't really fought the best ones. I fought Elijahman. I don't know if he was trolling or not, though, but when I fought him on Quick Play, I was, like, beating him more of the time. I don't want to put it -1, but it might be. He's, like, right next to Sephiroth. But it's probably harder than that, because you can't PDKO him. He's a Swordy that you cannot PDKO. And it's like a matchup check. It's like a knowledge check thing, and I do not have the knowledge. So, personally, I'm going to put Shulk in -2. Simon, we already did Richter, I think. We already did Hero. Toon Link is a really hard one. The hardest of all the links to fight for DK. Speaking of which, have I placed Young Link yet? No. I think maybe Young Link and Toon Link are both -2, but I think Toon Link is much more difficult than Young Link. These are like sort of, or they're like ordered in the beginning and ordered at the end, but the middle is just like a whole mishmash of shit. If there's anyone who is -3, you think it's Shulk. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I have noticed that there are situations where that up B is so big that you can't get past it. And to recover, you might have to like go high and like jump up B, but if you do that, he could still just do a high up B and catch you. What I found versus Shulk is that if he has Smash Art, you literally just sit and hold the ledge and do nothing. You literally just grab and hold it. That's different, like, you're talking about edge guarding though, which is true. I think you're right about the checkmating off stage, but like, if you have the ledge and he has Smash Art on stage, you can play around it by just being patient. I know this because I fought versus Elijahman recently on Quick Play for an extended session, and Seth was there. King, you might have been there. Kevin, you might have been there. I'm not sure. But I literally just sat on the ledge. And then Elijahman goes, I was waiting with my iframe. So he goes, fair, 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 fair. And it's just like, he just keeps doing it. And like the timing is not really being mixed up at all. And like my iframes are going to run out. And I'm just like, all right, ledge drop, jump up air. Like, I don't think he was like mixing up his ledge trap game enough, so he was making it pretty easy for me to just deal with the fair spam. It was like really easy to deal with actually, once I figured it out. I was consistently getting off the ledge against just fair spam by being patient with ledge drop, double jump up air. I have never lost to a Mewtwo, and you're gonna have to prove it to me otherwise. Mewtwo gets the shit end of the stick against DK. Everything that DK has in his kit works on Mewtwo. All of the most devastating cheese works against him. Back air destroys him. Kills him by accident. Headbutt up smash connects. You even have Aerial Ding Dong on FD from 62 to 66. You don't even need platforms to cargo up their up air and kill a Mewtwo. Edge guarding Mewtwo is kind of brainless. You just do like Nair or back air when he teleports to ledge. Like, Mewtwo has cool combos and stuff, but Mewtwo gets sneezed on by DK and he dies. I literally accidentally killed Mewtwo a lot of times with DK. Sure, it probably has something to do with that. I don't think I've fought good enough Mewtwo players. Again, I'd have to fight a good enough Mewtwo player to make me think otherwise. I have one of my most popular shorts. I was getting bodied by a Mewtwo. Bodied by him. And I still won the set 2-0. It's the short titled Mewtwo is Light AF. And it's like, the Mewtwo player is from like, somewhere along the East Coast, like North Carolina or something. He's like a really high-level Mewtwo, like a top-level Mewtwo in the US. And we fought on the ladder on Smash Bros, right? We fought on the ladder, and I was getting destroyed. And I accidentally killed him with Max Rage DK with down air up smash at like 40. I don't think it's North Carolina. I'm just spitballing. I don't know exactly what region. It might be like Utah or some shit. Like, I'm just literally throwing out names of states. I don't know exactly where he was from. But if you check out that short and see their tag, you'll know which Mewtwo I'm talking about. Villager is really... Oh, Tim Prater. There you go. You probably have heard of that Mewtwo. That was the best Mewtwo I ever fought. And I still 2-0'd them. Even though I felt like I was getting shit on and outplayed. That's how you know that it's a good matchup. You know what I mean? Well, you know, you feel like you're getting outplayed and you still win 2-0. Like, it's a good matchup. Villager. Villager is really tough. I want to say it's like on par with Youngling. Really hard. Wario, I have not fought an optimal Wario yet, but I think it's more doable than most matchups. He has cheese, but like, I don't think it's -2. I really don't know though. I could be very wrong about this. This is like the difference of like, if I was fighting Gluto, I would put this -2. So for that reason, I'll put it -2 then. We have to put respect on Wario's name. I know he has combos that just absolutely destroy DK. And that's it. Like, his cheese it's not cheese against DK. It's going to happen. You're gonna get hit by his combo into Waft multiple times. Yeah. Right, exactly. In past games, DK did better versus Wario because did you guys know in Brawl that Wario could get air released by every character, right? And DK is really tall, so when he grabs you, he's just like going like this, and then Wario's just hanging there, like dangling, flailing in the air. He gets super air released, like really, like obviously air released. And then there's so much frame disadvantage there that after you grab him and just hold him, I think the percent was 90. At 90%, you grab him and hold him. He gets air released, you could dash up smash, and that's a kill confirm. And if you were near ledge, if he was at like 70 or 80, that air release, you could literally do a standing giant punch. If you have a fully charged giant punch, you could air release him, wait for him to break out of the grab, and mash B and do a guaranteed giant punch. And at low percent, what DK didn't have cargo combos in Brawl. So what would you do? You grab him at like 10 or 20%. You wait for him to air release, you turn around and do double back air. And it was a combo. So that matchup, that all sounds great and all, but Wario had an infinite on Little Mac's on the bottom. He's the easiest character for DK to fight by far. DK beats Little Mac. I'm not gonna say for free because Little Mac still has some shit on DK, but Little Mac gets cheesed accidentally. Yeah, you didn't see it because it's not really like really worth looking at. We'll just look at the other stuff. It's like on the bottom of the list. Again, these are just my opinions. And I have not fought against the best of every character, and these will switch around as I fight against, like, wow, this character is way more broken than I thought, or, you know, oh, DK has gotten better at this matchup. Like I said, Sheik would be worse in the -2s, unless if, like, Sheik is almost out of -2 because of the way that I've, like, worked on this matchup for the DK community. I've figured it out. And it's funny because, like, well, why were you just naring? Like, yeah, ZSS makes DK not a super heavy anymore. That's why she's here. If you're dying at 30-40% every stock consistently, no matter what stage you're on, then it's not a good matchup. And who else does that? Sora, but to a more consistent extent. Mario comes close to doing that. Mega Man maybe shouldn't be this high. I think Mega Man is more doable. Like, these top three are, like, for me personally, like, the three hardest, the three worst. But here's the thing with Mario, though. Most of my matchup knowledge versus Mario is, like, quick play or some shit, right? Now, if you go from fighting a quick play Mario to fighting a tournament level Mario, it's fucking night and day, dude. It's not just because of the online offline. It's because there's the player base of Marios, no offense, it's fucking Mario. There's gonna be a billion of them, and they're all gonna be, like, pretty average. And then you go to tournaments and they're gonna be cracked. And it's just not even close to the same thing. And you could say that about a lot of characters, but it matters for a character with a combo game like Mario. Going from quick play Marios to a top 20 player in the world, right? And I never played, what's this called? The Mario from NorCal? I changed his tag, Kurama. I never played Kurama. I know he had a run as well. I'm sure I would have gotten just as fucked up by Kurama. So never played him. I've lost to, no offense, to any other Marios other than Kurama and Snow. I've lost to other Marios in tournament. So I was kind of sleeping on that matchup for a while because it's like, oh, I know how to fuck up Mario, like, online. I think online it's much more doable for DK to fight Mario because of the nature of combos. I don't think Mega Man necessarily has combo. These two characters here, it's like war of attrition. It's like such heavy projectiles that you can't get in. Which is actually going to make me put Steve here. Because this is, like, consistent. No, actually, I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure. When you get hit by Steve, though, you should be dying. And, like, if that's, like, how I'm ordering my -3s, then that's kind of, like, Sora kills you, ZSS kills you, Mario kills you, Steve kills you. These, they, like, consistently wall you out with heavy projectiles. Diddy just kind of styles on you, and Sonic just kind of fucks you up. Well, we all know the truth about Steve is that his F smash should have been nerfed. His diamond back air should have been nerfed. He should lose materials when he dies. All of them. He should lose... He should not keep diamonds. I don't know exactly how Steve works. I do, but at the same time, I feel like you have to study up every time you're about to fight Steve. There's a lot of it about him that should have been nerfed that wasn't. So, like, that's why he's just in DLC -3 tier. If he was properly balanced, I think he would be a -2. He gets iron when he dies. He gets materials when he dies. It's just fucked up. There's a lot of 0 to deaths. The thing is that the players are not consistently doing them yet. That's not true. I did see Aquila hit a 0 to death. I'm not going to say for the first time, but, like, it was a 0 to death that involved, like, a decent amount of tech, but not really. It was just, like, the NIL combo. Like, you do it, like, once or twice. And that's all you need to know how to do to kill with Steve. You don't have to do anything crazy. It's like grab, jab, fair, up tilt, up tilt, up tilt, get on the block, up tilt, get on the block, up tilt, get on the block up smash. Maybe I had one more iteration there that I added. But you know what I'm talking about. It's just, I don't know. Yeah, I saw that combo on Twitter where he did down throw, jab, fair, and then they would like SDI'd in on the fair to get behind him, and he just followed it by like falling back with them, and then did up tilt, up air, nil, up air, nil, up air, nil, up smash. And that's all you really need to do. You just have to be able to follow SDI, and then he just kills you. All right, Wii Fit Trainer. Oh. Okay. If I'm fighting any old Wii Fit Trainer, it's -1. If I'm fighting John Numbers, it's -2. If I'm fighting Xavier, it probably goes here. Because I had no idea what the fuck was going on when I fought Xavier's Wii Fit Trainer, I'm not gonna lie. But on average, we're gonna probably say -2. I literally was like respecting, waiting, chilling, reserving my jump, trying to wait as long as possible off stage. We were on Smashville, I'm playing Xavier on the ladder. Little did I know, I should have jumped and just up B'd high and just taken the damage. Because if you try to go at her or low, you're just dead. Because Wii Fit Trainer covers everything with the soccer ball or down air. And that's it. If you go low, you get down aired. If you challenge the soccer ball and you didn't hit it somehow back, then you're gonna die. And then also this character, for some reason, got buffed in that deep breathing the duration of it got buffed. For some fucking reason, from like 12 seconds to 15 seconds or whatever the fuck it was. Should not have happened. It's probably the most broken, one of the, if not the most broken resource in the game. And the fact that they get it very quickly, right away, like, oh, I just killed you? Cool. Well, I'm going to time a deep breathing so that when your iframes runs out, you have to deal with it again. And if you get caught by a nair, like a falling nair or something, which is really telegraphed, but if you get caught by it, it's a 0 to death. If they have a platform, it's like nair, drag down something. I don't know what the fuck combos the character does, but then they do a sweet spot up smash and then you just die at like 60. It's the stupidest fucking thing in the game that should not exist. But I can appreciate that all of that shit's probably just easier to land on Donkey Kong, which is why the matchup's not good. Gotta be at least a -2. I think this is very optimistic putting it here. It's probably much worse than this. Forward throw, narrow one up smash? Oh god. Does that work? I've never seen forward throw combos from Wii Fit. Yeah, Pac-Man, like I've never been able to beat a Pac-Man. That needs to change. I need to, again, I'm in Ryuga Chord. I need to reach out to the good Pac-Man players and just be like, yo, teach me this matchup. Like, what do I need to know about this character for DK to win? Like, can I ever punish your nair on shield? The answer is no. Can I ever punish your fair on shield? The answer is no. When you have Bell, what the fuck do I do? Because if I thought in tournament sitting on a platform and shield would work, no. The Bell anti-airs. It covers jump. And it covers better when you try to hold shield on a platform and try to jump. It actually will hit you right away. And I died to that, like, while being up a stock, I couldn't get extra credit. Oh yeah, everyone says that. Little Mac is the easiest character for DK to fight. I don't know if Little Mac has worse matchups than DK, but this is like DK's best matchup. So DK and Ganon get to go on the bottom here. We don't really need to look at them. We know that those are good matchups for DK. I might actually be trolling here with the Ganon. I think Ganon is still +2. I literally just sneeze on Ganon in the corner and he dies. And that'll even work on the best Ganon players. I think this is just matchup and experience. I think it might still be a -2, maybe it could be a -1, but again, I would get the kill first. I can never get look, you can never get your win condition on Pac. Look at this fucking window, bro. You cannot PDKO Pac-Man. If you could, it would be a doable matchup. Let alone getting your hands on this motherfucker who is always just running away, air camping, charging the fruit, throwing a hydrate down at you, camping off stage, charging the fruit, like trampolining away over the hydrant. Like, you can never get close to him. And then on top of that, you can't ever grab him in kill percent. So this does not exist on him. It's really annoying. Headbutt up smash doesn't work. I don't think this is the correct way to play neutral against him, but the point is you're supposed to kind of pressure him in neutral so that he can't charge the fruit as much. But you need giant punch, so you need to start charging punch. So like, if you're charging your punch and he's charging his fruit, it's better for him because he can combo you or kill you with it. But you need giant punch against Pac-Man, so it's like, it's annoying. But you still need to pressure him. So it's like, again, I'm probably playing that matchup wrong. And I would really like to know how to fight it. But until then, it's going to be a hard -2 for me because I lose to every Pac-Man. Wolf. I've definitely gotten a lot better versus Wolf over time. I might even so far as put this into Cloud territory with even. You might call me crazy for that, but I think DK does fine versus Wolf. It might be a -1 if I fight a Wolf like that Wolf Danny, who like has shown that they're like a master at the matchup, or maybe like Ouch or something. So maybe I should put a little bit more respect on Wolf. I don't think Wolf gets cheese as hard as Cloud does. I'll put a little bit more respect on Wolf. Like, these two are very close to each other though. I always felt like these are like very similar difficulty feeling matchups. But I feel like Wolf kills more consistently than Cloud does. What makes Banjo bad? Everything. Grenade. A patient Banjo that knows how to call out your jumps. When you finally decide, like, I've had enough of these goddamn projectiles, I'm gonna jump in, and they just call it out every single time with a fair or a back air, it's so annoying. It's very difficult. You can't really edge guard the character. Neutral is a nightmare. This is just like the there could be a whole chart of what are the most nightmarish neutrals, and Banjo would be up there. He might even be #1 with how annoying it is. Up there with Duck Hunt and Mega Man. It's not just the egg grenade, because they use the egg grenade as a bait for you to try to interact with it. They have the little eggs. It's the little eggs they shoot at you, and it's just, DK's so big, man, and he gets caught by them. Sucks seeing your main solo on all tier lists. What do you mean? Is it which character? Oh, K-Rool. Yeah. Well, it's just a matchup thing. Listen, don't take it the wrong way. Like, that's just the canon like, DK's supposed to win. That's just, I'm biased there, I will say. It probably is not a -1, but I don't lose to K-Rool. I've also fought one of the better K-Rools on the ladder and in the US. I haven't fought versus Kirby Kid yet. I played a really good K-Rool. You guys might remember the name Copel or something. One of the only K-Rools to take a game off me when I'm like really trying. And it was just, just catching me with some K-Rool stuff like fair or down air at ledge or something, or run off nair or run off counter, just stuff that you know about and you can avoid. And then I turned up. And then we went to Hollow Bastion and I was blessed. I 3-stocked him on Hollow Bastion and it was stylish. That's the thing though, DK can do that against K-Rool because he's big. Exactly. That's what Snow was saying. Also, shoutouts to Snow. Like, I don't know how old Snow is, but it's very humbling to me being as experienced and have as many years competing as I have, and the fundies that I have, and I feel like I know how to play Smash. I'm good at the game. I understand the game. And then there's just a character like Mario or like Ness, like Yoshi. They just keep getting better as each game comes out, to the point where it's like, yeah, no, this is not an easy matchup anymore. It was like in DK's favor, or like an even matchup, in Brawl. Or no, it was in DK's favor in Brawl, maybe like a +1. It was a strong +1 for DK in Smash 4 because DK had a lot of tools versus Mario. And now it's so fucking bad, dude. They made moves too safe on shield, and they made combos too fucking ridiculous. And on top of that, actually the way I was losing to Snow, it wasn't all just the fair spikes. It was getting killed with down air off the top. It just negates your longevity as you're not a super heavy anymore. You're dying at 100 consistently into like up air, rising dare, and he has a rage dare, and you're just dying. Now, the thing I did figure out, and I posted it in my Discord once I saw it on Twitter, is that you can heavily SDI down on the rising dare from Mario to try to survive, and I didn't know that. I think it would have helped me survive it. Like SDI down and then like DI correctly either left or right depending on which side he's on, like down and left or down and right, whatever. But if he catches the dare high enough up in the blast zone, it doesn't matter. You just die. Move is stupid. It scales really well. Yoshi. I'm very, 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 very good at this matchup. So I don't really lose to Yoshis that much. The only one I really lost to was J Mafia, and I think he like religiously was playing against Chunky Kong at locals like every week, possibly multiple times per week, and I think that was maybe the only reason. And when I lost to him, it was in a money match. I think he like JV3'd me, and then he one-stocked me, and then the last game was last hit. And like after that, like I actually don't think he wanted to run the money match back. I forget. I would have done it, but I think I was like catching on. But the way he was playing was much different than other Yoshis. And I could tell it's because he was comfortable versus Donkey Kong. He wasn't just sitting back, throwing eggs, you know, like waiting, like whatever. Or just like really predictably throwing out forward airs or shit, right? No, he was doing back air cross-ups on my shield. If I'm facing him and he's coming at me in the air, he's quickly turning around and then back airing on my shield and then landing into the ground behind my shield and doing up tilt, up tilt, up tilt. Like my shield is depleting and disappearing. And he knew how to pressure DK's shield perfectly and be really aggressive with it. And other Yoshis I fought were not doing that. Again, I don't lose to other Yoshis at all, really. The only Yoshis I would really lose to is like Suarez and J Mafia. I haven't played all of them though. It's still not good for DK though. It's either the hardest -1 or the easiest -2, and I'm probably gonna put it -1. And that's being like optimistic because I'm very good at that matchup, but I still will admit that it's difficult to get comboed by Yoshi. It's hard. Can you aerial up B the cross up? The back air, if they do it low enough and then they shield afterwards, I'm not sure. Because it's multi-hitting. It hits 1, 2, 3, right? So it's either like you call it out and you immediately up B and you trade with the first hits of the back air, that would probably work. If you preemptively up B and just don't wait for it and just trade with the multi-hits. But if you start getting back aired and he cancels it and lands behind you, I guess you've messed up because you're staying too stationary in shield for the most part. You should not let Yoshi get that close to you. But if he does and it's hitting your shield, I think it's too safe. I don't think the multi-hits allow him to land and either start pressing buttons, and if he does, sure, maybe you can do an aerial up B. But if he does the back air cross up, he can just block, bait out your up B, and then punish. What works against Yoshi is when you do he's gonna cross up my shield with Nair, and you do like a turnaround and you block the Nair and then you grab him when he crosses up. That works. But Zelda, I have to put some respect on Zelda. The annoying thing is I only fought maybe two really good Zeldas ever. The one in New York City and then this other Zelda, Ray. He caught me on a day where, again, it was not a day where I was able to combat my aggression. I had to play aggressive, and I thought that was the way to play against Zelda, and it is not. At the time, this still said aggressive, and I was trying that, and I was getting fucked up. You have to play... I think if I were to play the matchup properly and do the mid-range fainting strategy, which is the way you're supposed to play against Steve, which is basically do nothing and wait for her to, like, do something and then punish. It's a whiff punish matchup. And if you run in, you get hit by, you know, the Phantom. So this one is, like, very theory craft. Online, Zelda is very difficult. Offline, there's only, like, maybe 3 Zeldas I'd be scared of. But I could see it being really hard, actually. I don't think it's the -2, though. I think it's just a huge matchup check gimmick. So I'm going to say, like, I don't know. This one I'm not too sure about. Can I explain why Lucina is even when Marth is +1? Yeah, because Lucina can consistently kill DK and Marth cannot. And I just haven't fought any other Marths that could really prove otherwise yet. Like, as Marth, sure you have tippers, but it's probably going to happen like maybe once, maybe twice in a set where you're getting like a meaningful tipper like F smash kill. If I'm getting hit by that consistently, sure, then Marth is a -1 compared to Lucina. But if you're not consistently tipper F smashing me, then you get, you know, it's a, what is it called? Marthitis? Kind of like Sheik-itis, where like the opponents live to like 200 plus. You can live to 200 plus against Marth, and like he's forced to kill you with up throw if he's not hitting you with like tipper F tilt or tipper back air or tipper F smash. Like you can live long. Now he does have counter, and I think his counter always tippers. I think his counter might be stronger than Lucina's when it comes to that, but like if you're getting countered, it's on you. You were gonna die anyway. The part that's hard about DK versus Zelda is the neutral. At least personally for me, it takes incredible patience, and that's why I suck versus Zelda, I think. I'd much rather just play aggressive, and then I found that in the current meta, in the past maybe that would work, I could just rush down Zeldas and they get fucked up, but nowadays, Zeldas are very, very tricky with their baits, and they know that their moves have a lot of whiff cooldown, but they always have the Phantom ready to like protect them and stuff, so you have to play smarter than them and neutral and patient. Did we get everyone? I think that's all the characters, guys. Again, maybe a little bit more pessimistic. Pretty heavily -2. I don't know if anyone will disagree with me though. I think most of DK's matchups are probably -2 in Smash Ultimate. If you look at these -2s, maybe some of them can be put down to -1, like if you're really optimistic. Some of them can be bumped to -3. Like some of you are saying that I'm crazy for not putting Game & Watch in -3. Maybe you're right. But I think with a lot of discipline and a bunch of F tilts and proper timed giant punches, I don't know, I think actually Game & Watch and Ness should probably both be in -3, guys. But again, like I fought other Game & Watches, and you have to play really, 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 really hard. This is the other thing. I think Game & Watch is a character like Mario, where if you fight a quick play Game & Watch, you're gonna win if you know the right proper strategy. If you fight Meister or Mia, you're not winning. It's another tier level of difficulty. The advantage state doesn't end. I think for a character where the advantage state does not end, I don't think you can avoid -3. And I think that goes for Ness also. I don't know. I don't know, dude. Nessa's really bad. I was borderline thinking about those two, and I'm not sure where exactly they get placed, but I think they're -3s. There we go. Now it's a properly pessimistic chart. And this is just what I think. Isn't -3, you think -2? It could be a -2.5. We're going to put him on the borderline, though. I think at least DK can edge guard Ness consistently, though. There is that. Well, maybe we'll have Ness round out the top. He's going to be the hardest -2. he's the gatekeeper. Because he doesn't have the same advantage that Game & Watch has, where it's like rinse and repeat, recycle into a perfect ledge trap, into the ability to always edge guard and go out there and edge guard you. Ness at least has to like stay on the stage and ledge trap you a little bit. And then when he's off the stage, you can at least edge guard him. Game & Watch, good luck. I'm not saying that, again, what are you talking about? I put Game & Watch in -3. This is bad. This is the hardest, these are the hardest characters in the game for DK to fight, I think. I think maybe I'm being too pessimistic about Diddy Kong here. In my personal experience, I don't think it's as hard as these. I might actually switch these around a little bit. When I had Sekai Doggo, or whatever, I don't know what country he's from, but he's like the head of the Duck Hunt Discord, right? I had him at Glitch 8 sitting down next to me. We played 10 friendlies, right? This is why the -3 is like a 2-8. It's like a 20-80 in terms of like how hard it is to win percentage-wise. In 10 games, with him coaching me and telling me exactly how to combat against the Can and the Gunman and how to deal with this and how to do that and how to do this, I still only took 1 game out of 10 and I was playing as hard as I could. So Duck Hunt is very, it's a super duper matchup check. It's hard. And some of the games too would be last hit, but in the last hit situation, Duck Hunt is way fucking better than DK. Mostly because in a last hit situation, it's like, oh, this is doable. Like, you know, last hit for Duck Hunt could be like 60% versus DK. DK, however, is already chilling at the sweet, the sick 200%. That's the last hit for DK. And you're getting there. You're gonna get there. You're getting put to that percent, and then you're just gonna die to a can. Like, it's a frame 1. If you're in a last hit situation versus Duck Hunt Dog, you're probably gonna lose. Same thing versus Mega Man. Diddy Kong, again, I might be overestimating how difficult he is. But I'm just putting a lot of respect on Tweak's name here. I know what he feels about this matchup, and that it is that bad. And if you have perfect banana control and combo game, I think Diddy Kong can negate DK's longevity as well, because he has combos into down air at ledge. But it might be really situational, so I'm kind of reordering stuff a little bit. Yeah, the Luigi is because of Guy. I've beaten every other Luigi I've ever played, usually pretty dominantly in a set, without too many problems, or at least going back and forth with them. Against Guy, I just absolutely got my ass handed to me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's not close. Which is why I put a lot of respect on Guy's name as a player. I think he's gonna pop off. He's already started to almost pop off at majors. He actually should have, and has beaten Zamba so many times at locals. He was supposed to 3-0 him most recently at which major that just passed. He had a very solid, dominant 2-0 lead, and then he kind of like, it seemed like maybe he got a little nervous, and then he got reverse 3-0'd or whatever, but like, he's beaten Zamba a lot, and like, if you didn't know that history about them playing each other a lot, and his matchup history against Zamba, then you'd be like, oh, well, this Luigi's just whatever, but no. He's crazy. Luigi could have a I'm not winning tier because of down throw into dare into nair into yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Luigi's rough. So yeah, for the most part, all right, so this is ordered. I'll just type it out here. This is ordered in that, like, this is the hardest, and then as it goes like toward more positive on the bottom, this is the easiest matchup, followed by Ganondorf. This is just my opinion, by the way. So if you want to know which characters you should go Donkey Kong against, you're looking at them right here. These right here. And then Actually, I'm putting a lot of respect on Doc's name. I think maybe... I don't know. I used to think it was +1. I think the existence of Pill... Sure, he gets gimped. He gets gimped terribly. Horribly. But the existence of the Pill just makes it really difficult. But I might be putting a little bit too much respect. If I'm fighting any Doc that's not, like, Jazar, I don't think I lose. But then if it's Jazar level, I think it's an even matchup. So that... In the cases where I don't have a lot of experience, I'm thinking of what is the best representation of that character and how would it feel to fight them with my level of matchup knowledge. Which is why I'm putting Doc... I'm overestimating him a little bit. I think he should be a +1, but if I'm fighting the best Doc, I think it's going to be even. If that makes sense. And I did the same thing for Wario. I would normally put Wario in -1. But if I'm fighting Gluto, it's not a -1. It's a -2. And maybe that's the wrong way to do things, but... Yeah, I think that... I'm pretty happy with this. You guys seem to think it's pretty pessimistic, but I think it's better to be real about things when you're playing Donkey Kong. Why is Wolf so close to winning? Is it because his range is ass? Wolf just kind of gets... I don't know. Wolf is just a regular guy character. Okay, you know what the thing with Wolf is? He gets parried and he gets destroyed by parries. The only thing that he can do to mix up the parry is back air, where it's like slower and it could like make you flash a shield at the wrong time and then you get back aired. If he nairs, if he up airs, if he fairs, all of those get parried at the same timing. I get parries versus Wolf more than any other character. And if you can do that, you're going to get guaranteed grabs, you're going to get guaranteed up tilts, you know? Guaranteed grab off a parry is really strong for DK. Do I think he's bottom 10 to 15? Here's the thing, like, people that are optimistic about DK just because, like, the DKs are doing well, do you know why it's so late into the meta that they're doing well? It's because they had to wait all these years to learn the fucking matchups. They had to master matchups. DK has always been a character where, like, man, look at all these grueling matchups. Like, I have to learn how to fight against this fucker, and I have to do different things and learn against this fucker. It takes years to get to that level of matchup knowledge so that you can now excel. And on top of that, you know, DK has maybe higher peaks. I don't think he has higher peaks than Bowser, but he has a really, really, really good advantage state that's been just being pushed over time, and it's just been going up over time. You have to know their character as well as they do. Meanwhile, what do they have to do? You're Donkey Kong. They just get to fucking, not sandbag, but they get to just do the same shit they always do to you the whole time. They don't have to do anything really differently other than just, what, don't get grabbed? And then when they combo you, they're better combos against you. There's very specific ways that you have to play, like, starting when you get to the -2s, I would say. -1, the strategies are a little bit more linear that you could win. And then in the -2s, if you don't know the matchup, you're not going to win. And then the -3, even if you know the matchup, you're not going to win. That's pretty much... Maybe I should put that in parentheses. Even if you know the matchup, you're not going to win. -3. -2, if you don't know the matchup, you won't win. -1, stick to the linear strategy that works. Otherwise, you won't win. Even is just literally that. They're like volatile even. Honestly, I think maybe Falcon might even go in volatile even, but no, he has too explosive of like an advantage state and a combo game, and it's too hard to consistently like edge guard him, I feel like. Even is like these evens, with the exception of Olimar, it might even Olimar might I want to maybe put him in +1, but I think that's going too hard. It's too much. Even is usually like I don't know. It's like they're like very explosive matches, but it's even. I don't know. I can't really explain other than that. 0 is you can actually freestyle a little bit. +1 is canon. DK wins canon matchup, and then +2 is like you'll win by accident. Honestly, I think Mewtwo might even sometimes, I feel like, go in the +2 section. The only characters I've ever accidentally killed by just doing normal things that like shouldn't ever kill other characters is Little Mac, Ganon, and I think Mewtwo actually might go in that section, but I'm putting a little bit more respect on Mewtwo's name because he does have a combo game. But I think maybe I'm putting too much respect there. Because like I said, I was getting shit on by Tim Prater, and I'm like accidentally killing him. But yeah, I think Shadow Ball is a better character than Ganondorf and Little Mac combined. I could agree with that. At one point I was thinking, because like if Ganon plays the matchup correct and plays it the way that who's the Ganon from Canada that I was fighting? I keep forgetting his name because he doesn't go to tournaments that much. Raycom. Raycom is the only Ganon. Maybe it's because his connection is trash when we play against each other online, but he's the only one that knows the DK matchup. What is the matchup? Just to sit on the fucking ledge. Literally to hold on to the ledge. At least online, that shit is fucking threatening. He could jump from ledge with an up air, which has a nice like hurtbox, like a hitbox shift, and like covers anything if you try to jump, if you're too close to ledge. And then then he has side B. He has ledge drop jump side B, which is just, you know, it kills you or it starts an advantage state for him. If he literally sits on the ledge only and does nothing else, it's scary. But that's only if you're trying to challenge that. If you try to get close enough to the ledge and like ledge trap him and like hitting him for getting off the ledge, he counters you. You have to actually let him get on the stage and into the corner, and then he's free. It took me a while to figure that out. But when Raycom was doing that strategy to me, I was like, yo, I'm going to do this shit as DK against other characters. I stole that strategy versus Sora. Look how the matchups work here. So one of the best matchups for DK, right? How does Ganon fight it? Fuck the stage. I'm gonna just hang on the ledge and then see if they try to fight me while I'm hanging on ledge. If they take the bait, you can win as Ganon because his reversals are really strong from that spot. It's also a very high risk, high reward, because if you get hit for doing something wrong in the corner as Ganon, you die, right? Versus Sora, same thing. If they don't know how to deal with you when you're just holding on to the ledge, he's trying to fight you. Like, if you're in the center stage fighting neutral against Sora, you fuck up, you make a commitment, and then he just hits you, right? You take a billion, and then he hits you again, and then you die. Like, he hits you, like, nair to death, starting at 40, right? He can't do his carrying combo against you. If you're holding on to the ledge, he can maybe get a 60% combo, and, like, that's it, and he'll have to do, like, an up air into an up B or something, but, like, that's if he caught your ledge option. If you hang on to the ledge against Sora, and he's making commitments, you can actually reversal using iframes and fight him. And that was working against Pteroxys, which I think is probably a top 5 Sora, period. I think maybe he didn't know exactly... He didn't know that he shouldn't be trying to interact with me when I'm holding ledge. He should have been spacing his spells and doing stuff from a little bit farther away and letting me get up and into the corner and then just corner trapping me. You know? But this is just how I feel right now. It's pretty pessimistic. If you look at it, it's very bottom heavy. It's predominantly -2. There's a bunch of -1s. A lot of the -1s I'm just not sure about. Evens are like very few and far between. And there's really not very many super positive matchups in this game. Now, what does this mean in terms of where does DK place on the tier list? I don't fucking know. Because I would need to go to like all the top players' matchup charts and look at them and like average them against each other and be like, okay, where are their matchups placed? Like if you were to look at, I would say, I don't know. I would actually say that if I had to pick a character off the top of my head that would be the polar opposite of DK's matchup chart, it would be Pikachu. You could switch these numbers. around. Make this +3, +2, +1, 0, -1, -2 for Pikachu. How good is Pikachu? Pikachu's what? Top 10? Top 5? What would that mean? That DK is bottom 10? Bottom 5? I don't know. Maybe that's a pessimistic way to look at it, but like, I don't know. I don't think DK is high tier, just because DK is, like I said, if they're getting wins now and they're doing well, it's because they're good at the meta relevant matchups. They're grinding those matchups. They've grinded their advantage state, and also it means that they're cheesing the fuck out of people. And the people they're fighting are getting cheese, and they don't know how to avoid the cheese. But the second that a player adapts to the matchup and knows how to fight DK, it's a download. That's just it. Like, you will not get cheesed by DK if you know what's happening. You reverse the numbers for Pika and it'd probably still be too pessimistic, right? Well, except for like down here, if this is -2 and -1s, like I do think that Pikachu probably has more bad matchups than that. Then, you know. So it would be a little optimistic in that sense. But yeah, I would imagine the +2 section probably is this big or bigger for Pikachu. But anyway, so that's what I think. I don't know how a lot of you guys feel, but this is all heavily dependent upon the fact that I mostly play quick play. I don't compete as much offline. And when I do compete offline, the matchups, like ZSS was a -2. Mario was probably a -2. But once I fought them offline, I lost to these two characters in a money match and in the tournament. And I didn't think Peach was a -2 until losing to Peach recently either. But again, that might just be matchup and experience. So anyway, so that's my it took a little bit longer than I thought, because of course there was going to be some discussion. We didn't maybe talk about everything, but I think that's pretty solid. -3 is ordered, +2 is ordered. Oh yeah, this is ordered. -2 is just, it's too big of a section to order, honestly. Is this one ordered? It's not. Let's order it. There's not too many characters here. So I think Cloud is definitely up there. I guess we could say Chrom might be more annoying than Roy. I can actually get behind that. Doc is definitely going to be one of the easier ones. I think Doc is the easiest even. I don't think Lucina needs to be that far down in even. I think she's going to be up here with the sorties. Hero has got some fucking jank though, bro. But if you know how to respect the jank and not get matchup checked, then... Why do I consider Ken a -2? Ken is way better at anti-airing and killing DK with the true Shoryu fire uppercut. You think Doc beats DK. See, that's the thing. I used to think Doc was a +2 for DK. But then I saw how annoying the pill is and how hard Dr. Mario hits. Like, he hits like a truck. And stuff that probably shouldn't work works on DK in the Doc versus DK matchup. That being said, I've never struggled against Doc personally, so I don't think it could be anything worse than even for me personally. And then also on top of that, this is bias, but recently Chunky Kong has been beating Jazar. I don't know how many times they've played, but I think the past 2 times he's beaten him. It's Wi-Fi, right? But it counts for something. It's definitely a much easier matchup than Mario, that's for sure. I have them quite separated here. Look at that. Maybe that's a little much, but this is definitely a recency bias thing that I think Mario is this hard, though. Jazar is like a fucking Wi-Fi champion. Have you seen some of this dude's placements in these online brackets, dude? I don't know if it's because he's from Mexico or like if the connection is sus or he's just that good. But he also goes offline. When I see him compete offline in Mexico, he's still doing shit. Like, he's still doing really well. If we're being real, I think DK is a better character than Doc. I don't think Doc is a great character. Top 5 in Mexico? See, like, you can't sleep. Doc has potential. That's the go-to. That's always the go-to phrase, though. Doc has always had potential. And then it just comes down to, is the Doc pressing their down B at the right time or not? And is the person being matchup checked by dropping shield or challenging it or DIing wrong on down throw into fair? Or getting hit by pill into up B or pill into fair. Like, Doc has crazy shit where it's like matchup check. Oh, you didn't respect this? You're gonna get absolutely fucked up now. So, like, I don't know. I definitely sleep on Doc, but maybe I shouldn't. One thing I learned is that Doc is an incredible doubles character. The weaknesses that some characters have in teams is like, oh, his recovery sucks, right? Well, in teams, you don't have to worry about that as much. You have a teammate to, like, help you out. And then his buttons, the fact that he hits like a truck, that shit goes hard in teams, man. That's all I know. For some reason, he skyrockets in teams, like, from like 0 to like, I don't know where in the tier list he goes, but he goes up a lot in doubles. Speed isn't a huge factor in teams, right? It's more about like how strong your hits are. That Sora placement, you're the reason for the Sora placement, Teroxis, so shoutouts to you. That shit is bad. And that's me already knowing that our matches go the way they do online, where you're not able to consistently hit combos. So if we're playing offline, I have to know that shit is going to be more consistent. And what's going to be more consistent for me? Parrying? Like, I'm already hitting, I'm not dropping PDKOs on you online. I definitely won't drop them offline. Am I going to get more grabs on you offline? Maybe. But I'd have to see where a situation where a parry is even going to help me get a grab against Sora. But yeah, this is my chart. I don't want to say DK sucks, but like, I guess if you look at this, you kind of have to think that, right? At least the -3 section, the fact that it exists at all is laughable, but at least it's not that big, right? He has more even matchups than he has -3s, if we're looking at it positively. -2, again, -3 is even if you know the matchup, you're going to lose. -2 is if you don't know the matchup, you're going to lose. -1 is there's a pretty linear strategy that you have to use, and if you don't stick to that, you'll lose. IDK said at 0 or even tier is you can actually freestyle a little bit. +1 is you can style. No, sorry. +1 is it's a canon matchup, you're gonna win. And +2 is you can do whatever the fuck you want. You can style. You can style on Little Mac, and you can also be the most belligerent mofo in the world and just sit at the ledge and grab him. Anyway, this is just me. I'm a lifelong DK player. Like, you know, I know not to be optimistic about my character, like overly optimistic. So what this is just being real. I'm being real here. -3 doesn't mean it's unwinnable. What it does mean is that it's a 2-8 matchup. And when you see me fighting Teroxis, you'll see what that means. Where it's like, yes, I figured it out. I can take some games. And then I get 3-stocked the next game. Because I got hit by Nair one too many times into cinematic combo, right? Again, maybe some things could... I think maybe Diddy could be -2 instead of -3. I personally struggle way more versus Ness than Diddy, to the point where I almost want to put Ness in -3 and switch these two, actually. No matter how much I learn the Ness matchup, I know that it's just as simple as if you're put off stage, you're gonna get yo-yoed, and there's nothing you can fucking do about it sometimes if you don't have your jump. You can barely beat your bro when I pick his worst matchup, and he's Little Mac. Oh, you just gotta... Okay, so the answer versus Little Mac is not, oh, just grab him. Like, the grabs, they will come to you when they make a mistake on your shield. You can't grab his spaced forward tilt. You can't grab his space down tilt. If he dash attacks your shield, you can grab that. You can't grab his forward smash on your shield, especially if he angles it down. It like almost breaks your shield. The way that you win against Little Mac is knowing when to down B, and predominantly it's back air. It's back air, grounded down B, and pivot grabs, actually. So what you can do is when he extends his arms and he like whiffs stuff, you can dash away and pivot grab his extended arm. But even then, I might still stick to grounded down. I use a lot of grounded down B in that matchup. Again, I've never lost to... I've played Peanut, it was online, the connection was terrible. I've played the best player in El Paso in 3 sets now, who is a Little Mac, and I've beaten him every time. I played him at Double Down, and I 2-0'd him. That was the first time I played him. And then I played him in locals 2 times after that, and I beat him. He's been getting closer and closer each time, though. Like, he's getting better at the matchup, I can tell. Pac-Man, I think Pac-Man will get easier for me. I just have to learn the matchup. This is a big problem character for me right now, though. But, yeah. That's basically it. I didn't play any Smash today other than the first to 5, but this is something that needed to get done. I also need to fill out the survey, so maybe I can just do that right now. The responsible thing for me to do would probably be to end my stream and just like fill this out and just get it done, because I'm like all distracted. Maybe I'll go live, maybe I'll stay live, maybe I'll go live again and start playing. At this point, I don't know. Also, in case of you guys, we talked a little bit about doubles before. I was talking about dock and doubles. I definitely want to play more doubles on stream with you guys, and I don't know if you guys are interested or if you understand how fun doubles is, but like y'all need to start playing doubles. We get 4 people playing. You learn matchups faster this way. I was terrible versus Sonic. I would lose to almost any Sonic, even on quick play. I would struggle against them. I played doubles against Wrath and Stratus, Sonic and Fox, and we were DK Pikachu against Sonic and Fox. And that sit down where we played against Wrath for multiple hours, the next Sonic I came across, I 3-stocked them like with the swiftness because of like the matchup exposure I got from playing doubles. So sometimes it's a good way to get matchup knowledge against otherwise obscure characters, or just you get to fight against 2 characters at once. It's actually good. So I definitely want to do doubles at some point soon on my stream, just because it's really fun. And also, again, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I want to cycle in like different teammates. Like, I know it was usually we were running DK Pikachu the whole time, always against you guys, but I enjoy doubles a lot, and it will get me stronger at my other characters because I'll know which times I can go DK in doubles and which times where I have to switch and play like a point character. DK is not a point character. He's a stay back, I'm gonna tank. He's a stock tank. He's a stock tank who charges Giant Punch and like kills with rage and gets like cheese kills, like opportunistic kills, right? But like my other characters and teams are more point characters, like Lucina. I don't really play any other characters in teams, I'm gonna be honest. But like that's enough of a switch up for me. That's like my tank and then my point character. So I'll probably switch between those 2 for the most part. I kind of have a Pikachu, but I don't think it's maybe ready for teams. But maybe it is, because I actually know like how to get grabs and then to combo into stuff. Is Sonic that bad for DK? Yes. So Sonic gets the lead and then it's GG. What are you gonna do? I've seen it at the highest level, Chunky Kong versus Sonics. It comes down to you maybe can get him to 50 or 60%, but if you're not landing that Giant Punch on him in the corner on a read on his bad spin dash out of the corner into your Giant Punch, you're not gonna win. Because like he's just gonna be able to stay away from you. Advantage is crazy for Sonic against DK. Disadvantage sucks for DK. You have to know to recover high. If you recover mid or low, you will just die. Yeah, if DK gets killed once and Sonic is at like somewhere around, like there's no real comebacks being made in that matchup. Sonic can literally just run away. It just comes down to, is he willing to fight you or is he gonna run away? But like I said, I'm better at the Sonic matchup now, so maybe my opinion might change on this over time. But based on how it felt when I fought Sonic's, again, it was online when I fought him in an online bracket in a top 8, it was terrible. But we were playing on like Yoshi's story, which I don't think was really smart. It was bad. It was really hard. Sonic lands more punches on DK than... Yeah, and honestly though, and this might not even be an exaggeration, I think Sonic's F Smash might have a better hitbox than DK's Giant Punch. Don't quote me on that. It might be more active at least. Plus he can angle it so he could 2-frame with it. The fact that you could 2-frame with that F Smash is it's a war crime. It's terrible. The fact that it angles down, I've seen it hit so consistently when they attempt the 2-frame that I have to imagine that it's like more active than Giant Punch. Because Giant Punch is only 2 frames active. Because Giant Punch he goes like it's more like it's like a tap. Like it's like he's like tapping you really hard. His punch is out and then it's not. And then Sonic, he's just like, it's the hypno punch. He just like, and then he also stutter steps before he does it though. That shit is crazy. Yeah, the pull back on the whiff. Yeah, I don't know. That move is fucked up. That's the thing. So against Mario, DK can F tilt, right? And the F tilt, it's great. It keeps him out. It walls him. You stay under the platform. You know, you're walling him with the F tilt. Now, what if Mario is playing smart and fireballing to like clash on your F tilt to like make you have lag, or what if he's jumping in a way where he like you're trying to F tilt and like it whiffs and now you get whiff punished by Mario and then you die as DK. So that's like, seems like most of the matchups, like F tilt, great move in the matchup. However, if you whiff it, you get comboed 0 to 80 or 0 to 60, and then DK has no disadvantage, so you get reset. DK's either going to jump out of disadvantage, he's going to aerial, or he's going to air dodge. If Mario calls that out and keeps the advantage going, he gets another full combo into a kill, which is either a landing up air into a fair spike, or a landing up air, into platform reset, into up air, into rising down air, and then you die at 100 off the top, even as a super heavy. So if you want to get better as Mario versus DK, just don't overcommit, wait for the air dodge, play on platform stages, and learn how to combo up air, platform reset up air combos, landing up air into jump up air into double jump down air. And you could cross up with the down air too, if you're clever, because DK is really big. You could down air and be like, you know, I'm going to drift to the left at the last second, and then it might mess up their DI, and then they'll die earlier, or they'll, you know, they won't DI it correctly. So you even have like a DI mix-up on the down air. Anyway. That, and of course, you know, Cape. Underutilized probably, but Flood. Flood is just a free neutral win. It doesn't do damage, but if you're charging punch or doing aerial hand slap in neutral and you get flooded, guess what? Special boost. If you're using a special, you get boosted really far when you get hit by Flood, so you'll get knocked like into the corner or off stage if you were jumping. You can't aerial hand slap. You can't charge Giant Punch in the air. You have to like charge Giant Punch on the ground only, I guess. Or like on the platform and then shield or something. Why is Palu not -3? Because there is a way to play it, and I figured out how to win against Palu. It's bad, but if you do mid-range feinting, meaning you don't approach her, you don't just sit in the corner, but you sit in that like that mid-range where you just like continuously full jump with your back turned. What's going to happen is she's going to try to shoot, if she's out of range, she's going to try to shoot the auto reticle, you know, the neutral B, whatever, and she shoots her like multi-hit lasers at you. If you're full jumping, it's going to try to lock onto you, and you just kind of try to time your full jumps. You're not fast falling with this. You're just like jumping, right? And then when she shoots it, if you're in the air, you can fast fall, and now it'll whiff. It'll shoot at where you were. And if you're landing and it's going to hit you as you're landing, you know, you could just block, or you could jump over it, because like you have to stand where there's enough distance where you can jump over the auto reticle lasers, or just fast fall from them, right? With your back turned. If she does explosive flame, same thing. Like, it's far enough away where it's like reactable, where you can like jump over it, or you could land and shield. Or if she's doing that, that's a big commit actually. So you could, since you're already in the air, you can just, if it's gonna, she's shooting it at the ground because she thinks she's gonna cover landing, you can just drift over it and get closer to her, and then now you earn position. And from that same position, she's gonna try to do things like rising nair, rising back air. Those are like really tough for DK to deal with at like a close range, right? And you can't swing first, otherwise her back air wins. But if you let her swing first on the back air and she's reaching with it, you can whiff punish that with back air. You need to stand in and jump in a full hopping baiting position. You're feinting. You want to like jump in towards her, like, hey, I'm gonna approach. Nah, actually I'm gonna fade back. So it's not just jumping in place. It's like full hopping towards her, like, no, going back to where I came from. And if she takes the bait on that and she tries to reach with a fair or a bear while you're fading back, you outrange her. So you can let her whiff and then you back at her. So like, you jump in place, you drift towards center, but then you're like, nah, actually I'm gonna go back. And you just like keep doing that until she tries to use her projectiles to hit you, which you can easily avoid from that distance. And then if she tries to commit at you for being at this full hop distance, your airspeed is good enough and your range is good enough to fade away. And then if she reaches, you can now fade back towards her while you're still airborne because of the full hop. This doesn't work with short hopping. This works only with full hopping. And it's very specific, but if you play this way, specifically on Final Destination, it's very good versus her. This probably works best. This is going to work best on stages like FD Transformation of Town, Kalos. If you have platforms in the way stopping you from doing this stuff, it's not going to work. So I actually think those might be the best stages against Palu, low-key, and I didn't realize it until I just said it out loud. Sure, PDKO is a thing on Palu, but like, that's not your win condition. You don't fight her that way. You don't like try to actively get in her face, you know? Wouldn't dash attack hard call this out? No, that's the thing, is you're so far away from her that you're outside of the burst range of her dash attack. If you're in dash attack range, sure, then your jumps are gonna get just stuffed. But you're staying at a range, you're staying at like max auto reticle range. You're purposely not outside of that range, because if you're outside that range, then she can do like the smash explosive flame that goes really, really far. I could be wrong, but I don't think she has full control over explosive flame. I think it's either a short one or it's a super far one, right? And she can, you know, kind of angle it with her jumps and stuff too. Like, depending on when she jumps and then when she presses it, I think that's how that works. So, yeah. So, as far as I'm aware though, you're staying in the range where the auto reticle will still target you, but it's at the max range. Because if you're any farther away, you're being safely pressured by a smash explosive flame, where you just like, she's totally safe for just doing that, right? You don't want to be in that range. You don't want to be too far. You don't want to be too close. There's a sweet spot to stay where she's like, oh, maybe I can auto reticle. And if you bait that out, you can actually full hop, and then she shoots auto reticle at you and it whiffs, and you could fast fall, and now I don't think you get like a punish or anything, but you might be able to earn a little bit of positioning on her. Maybe you can get a run up grounded down B. I don't think so, but the point is you're not staying at a position where she can dash attack you. That burst range for dash attack is like, we're talking about instant dash attack. It doesn't go that far for her, you know what I mean? I can't imagine that it like covers a distance anything more than like, I would say it has a better burst range than back air, But it goes dash attack, then back air, and those are like her bursts that are like infallible, right? But as long as you don't play too close to her. Again, the way I started playing that match, and the other reason you don't want to get close to Palutena is because you get caught in the vortex, the blender of Nair. But again, the way I just talked about playing against her is something I only just figured out over the past 6 months, past year. Otherwise, yes, she might be closer to like the hardest -2 or something. And this was always a pain in my ass, this matchup. But recently I figured out some stuff. Fair doesn't get you either. No, the fair, it's fast, but again, it's she has to commit pretty hard to hit you with a fair. And the thing is, the other reason why you're not short hopping when you're playing neutral, for the most part, you might mix up between short hops and full hop. You're not going to only full hop. You might show a short hop like sometimes when you're not committing to like make them think that they can. If you're short hop empty jumping, yes, you're vulnerable to back airs, especially if you're going to try to swing, and you're also vulnerable to fairs. But if you're full jumping, for her to commit, she's probably going to go for up airs before she's going to go for full jump fair to try to hit you, you know? Because like rising up air, like it like exists and then it continues existing when she gets there. But that's more of like a juggle position. If she does try to chase with up airs, that's the whole point of keeping this horizontal range. Keeping like a big horizontal range where she is encouraged to whiff. She's encouraged to try to interact because her projectiles are like not really working. And they become a little impatient. Their auto reticle's not working. The explosive flame's not working. So she's like, all right, well, I'm going to try to fair and bear. And then you have enough distance between you where even if you don't punish her immediately, she's getting into an uncomfortable range where now you can start F-tilting her. Or you can whiff punish with back air because you have more range than her. You'll have to see it the next time I play against a Palutena. And we do have some examples where I fought against Pain Shane in some tight sets. Put hero down. Wait, what do you mean? I actually don't know exactly where to put hero. He might be a better matchup. He might be worse. But yeah, this is my matchup chart, guys. September 2024. Looks pretty pessimistic, but honestly, all this being said, this makes it known to me that I should probably switch characters against these. I won't fucking switch characters against these characters, except maybe Mario. I'll go Lucina. Maybe against ZSS, I'll start trying to use Diddy. I've heard that Falco does really well against Mega Man and Duck Hunt. Maybe those are options. Like, maybe these are some characters I should try to, like, pick up. Wait, where did I put Banjo? Why is Banjo not only -1? Because I've played against some of the most... I've played against ridiculous Banjo players that... It's just, for me personally, it's like the war of attrition is just too much for my patience. I don't have patience. ZSS versus DK is winning for DK? You're crazy. That's crazy talk. The only way you're winning is if you're spot dodging her grabs and ding-donging her. You're parrying her nairs and grabbing her and she's not spacing them well. And you're not getting up-aired into up B. No. It's... That right there is... It's called propaganda. And it worked. And it was very smart. Very smart of Mars, actually, as a content creator, to set that propaganda in motion, because if it's a strong enough propaganda, your character will not get nerfed. She actually did get nerfed a little bit, I believe. Didn't they make her up B out of shield like slower a little bit or something? I forget what they did. I don't know what they could have done to nerf her other than that. But, you know. Yeah, in Smash 4, it was shields were strong in that matchup though. In this game, shields suck. And DK has, you know, he has aerial up out of shield, but I don't even think it works against CSS. Because her frame data is so good. Lucas. Yeah, where did I put Lucas? I put Lucas in -1. That's a good point. I actually not really sure about that. Lucas is definitely easier to fight than Ness for me. And it might just be because the properties of PK Fire and Yo-Yo. Like, Lucas can fight you off stage and he can gimp off stage. But, like, Lucas can't really handle getting pressured. Whereas Ness has Nair out of shield that just doesn't give a fuck. Like, that move is DLC by itself. Lucas Nair, you can SDI incredibly hard and then, like, be okay afterwards. Yeah, Lucas has a lot of stuff he could do at you when you're off stage. The up B, he's got the down smash, he's got the down air off stage, but, like, again, I feel like that takes commitment and it could still be baited out and avoided, whereas Ness doesn't have to commit and just, like, gets to sit at the ledge and just continuously trap you and do shit. But alright guys, I did a lot of talking. I didn't do any playing tonight, but that's okay. I think I'm gonna stick to my good sleep schedule that I have going on here, and I'll get back to trying to, you know, get a more regular stream schedule going. And I probably won't play tonight though. I think I'm happy with the progress that we had here though with this chart. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill out that survey for the DK community matchup chart, where I don't know if it's like a secret chart or if it's just like a top player DKs are making it. I don't really know who is like filling out this survey. It's mostly just like the knowledgeable ones, or is it a community thing? I'm not really sure. But this information is going to go into that survey and go towards wherever we think these matchups are for DK. So this is my 2 cents. And yeah, I'm going to call it there. But I appreciate you guys. Thanks for chilling. Hope you enjoyed the stream. And yeah, appreciate it. I saw we got a bunch of new YouTube subscribers, probably a bunch of followers. Appreciate the support, guys. I'm going to be trying to get more streams going. But yeah, thank you guys for chilling. And until next time. Peace out, y'all.